Latte, Hello, one and all, and welcome back to the Amateur Australian Overwatch Ladder. It is Season 12, Stage 2, Week 2, presented by AAOL Sports. I am Opara, back to cast once again, and I am joined with Papa Daka, or Pap as he's more commonly known.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be back only after a little bit of a week hiatus, and we have some incredible matchups. But first off, for those that are new, what the heck is going on? What is this tournament series? Well, I can tell you, it's a 10-week tournament split into 2 stages. Each stage is a 5-week round robin. It's the largest OCE Overwatch tourney. We have 50 plus teams. We're into our 12th season, and you can sign up either individually or as a team. And if you sign up individually, we'll place you with other individual members, and you get to experience the wonders and joys that is, scrimming, and obviously get into this tournament yourself. So yeah, get involved and sign up. Join our Discord or our website down below.
Absolutely, and on top of that, we've got a really awesome Patreon that you can jump into and be involved if you would like. Some cool things you get a pink roll on the Discord for joining into the Patreon, and you also get things like sneak peeks into YouTube videos, blog posts, and so much more.
Yeah, another thing you get as well is if you really want your team to be streamed by us, and maybe pick your favorite casters as well. But yeah, I'm totally up to you. Sign up for our $15 Patreon, and get your team cast and streamed. So much fun. So the first matchup is the Div 3 of Bamboozlers versus Negative Ion Vacuum Apara, and we're fresh off a cast of Negative Ion Vacuum, and they're looking pretty strong.
Absolutely right. Negative Ion were bringing the heat yesterday, so it's going to be fun to see if they can keep up the momentum. After that, we will be watching MEOW versus Vanilla Latte, our Div 5 teams going head to head, and that will be pretty fun as well. And if you guys don't know, you can vote. You can kind of vote, make a prediction in the polls in our chat, and potentially win some channel points. So feel free to jump into that and have a little bit of fun throwing your channel points to the wind.
Yeah, guys, absolutely absolutely get involved and get hype for what is going to be an absolutely crazy match. Okay, let's run through the teams that we've got sitting in front of us. We, of course, have RP, Red Pandas, Bamboozlers. Our tanks for tonight are Triku, Tracy, please, and the DPS is Toothless and Turtle. And the supports are Muffin and Anna. Now, Para, what did we see last night? Who are the people playing on NIV?
Last night from Koala Esports, we had Negative Ion Vacuum. We had the tanks, Ricky Maru and Flash on DPS, Noxus and Gomonic, and then the support to follow up, Apple and Eternal Donut.
Yes, and I'm very excited. So people are already sitting in the lobby. We're almost ready to go. Let's just quickly run through the map pool that we'll have throughout this whole stage, including, obviously, tonight. We'll always start off on Nepal, the control map, moving on to loser's pick of either Eichenwald and Barney, and then Assault with Volskaya and Nubis, and it's best 2-3. So if we need it, we always have the payload map of Junkertown or Gibraltar, and then finally, if we get to it, we have the last control map of Ilios.
Absolutely right. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch through and see how these teams play up against each other. It'll be interesting to see if Negative Ion Vacuum NIV can bring the pain that they brought last night. Ricky Maru, insanely aggressive Reinhardt. Noxus was running the Genji, but we do have to note they were playing experimental last night, so potentially going back to being a little bit of just standard classic quick play at the moment. We might see, this is considered competitive, but the standard rule sets, it may be a little bit different compared to experimental.
Definitely. So the people you got to look out for on Bamboozlers, I've been told, is Anna, their new AIM support, who is apparently the new kid on the block, as I'm told, and a little bit cracked here and there with their sleeps and their bio nades. So look out for them. On the side of NIV, we've got, of course, Nox, who we've talked a lot about with his Genji performance. See what he plays today. He is pretty cracked on Widow, I know. We got the Flash and Ricky Maru, the off tank and main tank respectively as well, who, as we saw last night, Apara on the Koalas Esports Twitch, they were super hyper aggressive and so much fun to watch and see how they play. Just when you thought, oh, maybe they might just back up, maybe now's not the time. No, they made that time.
Absolutely right.
They made the space and they made the time to allow the DPS like Nox to be able to push in so aggressively and get those kills. So yeah, coming into Nepal, you probably not see what we saw yesterday. I mean, we had the double Torbjorn turret, for goodness sake, experimental patch, but we're likely to probably see the McCree and possibly the May, which we're seeing a lot of right now, followed by the Baptiste Lucio sort of pick. Bap's just so strong right now with that immortality field, and of course Lucio to move that Reinhardt around, which has been played a lot recently. Now the Australian contenders has begun. Everyone's realized, let's just go back to the classic Reinhardt Zarya. And I'm saying that also from last week. We had a lot of that Ryan Zarya and then McCree, May, and we even saw it swapped out for a Tracer every now and again. So we can look forward to that. In the past, we've had Bamboozlers that were in season 12, stage 1. They came third in Div 3 with a 3-2 win. So they did pretty well. They finished about medium here, Apara, and I'd expect now that they've been able to train, get to know each other a little bit more. They've been together for 3 to 4 months, so this is time. They know what each other play. They know, how each other play, and they clearly can play pretty well together because they're coming off a win from last week.
Absolutely right. And, having that win on your shoulders makes you feel very confident. It was a plus 3 map difference as well, wasn't it? So is that a 3-0? Can you confirm that for me?
So the 3 map difference was just means that when they won, they didn't drop as many maps. So that's how we can tell, if there's a little bit of a draw here and there, they won 3 or the other team only won 2 or something like that. And it's all calculated on our spreadsheet. We don't have much on Negative Ion Vacuum, but we do know there used to be Mega Control for Koalas Esports before they sort of not quite disbanded, but it was Mini and Mega Control, but they're no longer brother sister teams or whatever. But when they were Mega Control, man, they dominated in season 11 stage 1 with a 5-0, not dropping a single map. And they came first. Unfortunately, last season they didn't do too well, but they've had a little bit of a rebrand, had a little couple of players come from left and right. So it's not quite the same Mega Controls. So we could see a big upset to Bamboozlers' victory because they have been looking pretty strong coming from another win from last week.
Absolutely right. I mean, one thing to note, which may be pretty interesting, yesterday we watched Negative Ion Vacuum, and they were actually running their manager and captain Bakura on the support, but now they've got Eternal Donut. So it'll be interesting to see just how even little things like that switch up their mindset and their play style. Probably a little bit more confident. We saw Bakura running Lucio a lot, so Eternal Donut may be a little bit more confident on maybe, like you said, Baptiste or something like that. We'll have to see what they bring today as we move into Nepal.
We do too. We're moving on to, of course, Shrine here. We've seen quite a bit of the ball can be played a lot here, but there we go. It's just that Reinhardt Zarya comp, especially if you were NIV. They're running. Sorry, that might be Bamboozlers actually. Yeah, no, it's Bamboozlers now on the right side. They're running that May McCree just like I predicted here. I mean, it is so strong, May on these chokes, just walling off someone like Ricky Maru, who's been classically extremely aggressive, as we've seen before. And yeah, it's a mirror comp here, Bara. It's basically just a race to get to the point, wall off the Reinhardt better than the other team, and just dominate for that first pick on the main tank.
And here we go, both teams connecting together, and it looks like the MEOW on the side of NIV was a little bit better. The aggression from Ricky Maru just coming straight through, but Ricky Maru has been frozen up here. Tracy, please, went into the background, and there was a good charge by Triku taking out Gamonic. So you do want to get a little bit aggressive if you're the Bamboozlers right now. You've bamboozled the Mei, jump onto some more of the players, but an early shatter by Ricky Maru. Absolutely insane. A good boot by Lucio means that he doesn't get much value out of it. MEOW by Toothless just holding the team away right now. This is a little bit of a stalemate as we do see Gamonic's has now returned to the team. Out comes the amplification matrix out by Ana there. Not running Ana, that's why I got confused. Running Baptiste. And now it is just Gamonic's really stalling out as it's looking like it's all Bamboozlers on the board.
That was an incredible fight from Bamboozlers there, taking that victory, especially after that pick onto the Mei, which can be just such an extremely valuable pick. You've lost your walls and you've... Oh my God, Nox, what the heck, man?
Nox has said you're not allowed to talk.
I am not allowed to cast. No cast for me as Apple's able to pick up Tracy, and they've already lost the point here. Ana, though, is able to get the main tank of Ricky Maru, and there is a little bit of pushback, but already the negative Ion Vacuum has been able to take the point. What the heck was that? I was about to say, they did exceptionally well, Bamboozlers, of being able to stay alive there. I would expect NIV to sort of push their aggression now that they didn't have to worry about Mei walls, but you know, clearly with only 20% really lost if for negative Ion Vacuum, they've now got the point for much longer than that. They only had to really use one ult to get it back as well, where classically on Shrine it's like use 3 ults and then maybe if you're lucky get it.
Absolutely. Now we see the amplification matrix come out, and a grab onto this weak corner here means that both tanks are going to fall very quickly. It looked like Triku wanted to go around and do a little bit of a cheeky shatter, but didn't want to commit it just yet, considering 2 ultimates got thrown out, and I think that's the right decision.
That is the right decision. You just kind of want to fall there. Nox is just being brutal on this McCree right now. But yeah, they did a very good job there of only having to use 2 ults to immediately shut down some very high value targets. And at that point, they were already retreating for Bamboozlers, and that's when you just chase them down with the Lucio. Coming into next fight though, Bamboozlers, they have 5 ults here. So you'd want, they're taking the high ground, taking a little bit of, I was about to say Simon Says, but they're going around right now. There's a grab and a beat.
And at the high noon response by Noxus, the shatter from Ricky Maru unfortunately connects into a shield, and both Reinhardt's full during that fight. TJ Rohi, though, getting 2 picks, and that could be good, but the Blizzard is going to slow down any push that they want to make. Gamonic's just throwing that Blizzard out. Now they're going to start getting a little bit more aggressive. Muffin speeding them up onto point, and yep, Toothless jumping on his mate, trying to get on before they get too high in that point percentage there, 89%. But the shatter from Triku, there we go, that's a connection you want. Noxus taken down by their counterpart McCree. TJ Rohi now taking down Eternal Donut as well, and Ricky Maru walled off from the support, so can't survive that. It's just Baptiste and Moiraman trying to escape, but gets finished off in the last second.
Tracy plays beautiful bubbles there, stopping a lot of the shots that were trying to connect desperately onto the Bamboozlers, but Turtle was able to click the heads that were required, and now, they're coming into the fight with both support ults basically for Bamboozlers, and you need to be able to hold here because 99% has gone the way of negative Ion Vacuum. This is where you need to hold. Right now, there's the same sort of pathing we're seeing that we saw from Bamboozlers. Coming into this next fight, though, expect Moiraman with that massive grab, probably with Apple's square, as both squares will probably be popped immediately.
Yeah, there's the... but a high noon from TJ Rohi in the backline actually manages to make it so that they do not connect. Noxus tries to pop his high noon, unfortunately only takes down TJ Rohi, and this point is going to be held a little bit longer.
A little bit longer, and yeah, it's even Stevens across the board ultimate-wise here. Toothless is... Toothless and Gamonic are sort of even Stevens when it comes to Blizzards right now. And tank ultimates, though, keep an eye out on Ricky Maru, who's probably looking for that fatty shaddy coming into this next fight here. This is the fight you need to win, though, Aparas. This looks like it could be the last one.
Yeah, we want to see a good shatter coming out from Ricky Maru, and we know he brings that aggression. We know the shatters are big. Out comes an early Blizzard right onto point for TJ Rohi going on the flank. There's the shatter coming through. Immortality to keep Ricky Maru alive in this grab, but Triku with a little bit of a bigger shatter coming through. Unfortunately, the kills are on the side of NIV. If you're on Bamboozlers right now, you're going to be feeling a little bit desperate to try and get some kind of value as it flips over, and I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch, especially with the MEOW blocking your entrance.
That was very well played there by NIV. Unfortunately, Toothless just could not get the Blizzard quite fast enough, and Gamonic coming out with his own Blizzard of his own, able to. I don't think he got any kills from it, but that wasn't the point of it. The point of it was like it was in the middle of the shrine, forcing out Bamboozlers like in like 6 different directions, and at that point the Reinhardt just got to swing away for Ricky Maru doing what he loves best, and that is holding WM1. Making it work. I mean, Bamboozlers, they did a great job. They basically turned it at 99% and had to hold on for as long as possible. They did all right, but I think going into the next fight here, you really want to try take it off the clutches of NIV if it ever falls to them, as we are now onto Village. As exactly the same team comp from Bamboozlers, but a little bit of change. Nox is now on the Ash, and Gamornik is on the Reaper, perhaps just trying to go even more brawly, which suits Ricky Maru perfectly.
Absolutely right. We see the MEOW just not blocking Ricky Maru off from the rest of the supports, getting picked up into the sky, but TJ Rohi takes down Gamonics early, and that's going to be huge if you are on Bamboozled right now. Toothless now freezing up Apple, and yeah, that early pick just means this push is going to be shut down so quickly.
That was beautifully played there from Bamboozlers. Despite the Reaper in their face, they were able to keep their composure. And I don't even know if they lost. They didn't even lose a man there, Apara. That is massive. They're not waiting for any sort of staggers to come back to the fight. They can just take this high ground immediately here and be able to meet them, as that MEOW was beautiful.
Huge MEOW, and the amplification matrix out by Baptiste there. Ricky Maru trying to find any sort of kill, but gets taken down by the May. Toothless really just putting on a show right now with these MEOWs.
Yeah, that was both supports were blocked out there, and then all you needed was that fire strike through Ana's amplification matrix, and that instantly takes out a 200 HP target any day of the week here. Next fight though, Ricky Maru looking for that shatter, so look out for them as they're just piling directly to point Apara. They just want to meet, just want them to come to Bans and NIV right now.
Yeah, another huge MEOW actually splitting off the team, and the shatter only connected onto one. Meanwhile, Triku's shatter was good, but Apple gets the kill onto Triku. We do see the amplification matrix come out by Triku as well, as they just want to flip point right now.
Right now, Bamboozlers was, it was almost like they were caught a little bit there. Didn't really know what to do with just the speed that NIV touched the point. And I mean, it was split with 60% remaining though, so all you need is one nice clean fight, and you could be looking at a last fight capture. Tracy Please and Moraman both have grabs though. There is a little bit of, oh, we're going this way, oh, we're going that way. They are going.
Oh, I like that.
A huge grab.
I love that.
In the air. I love this.
That was an amazing grab. It follows into the beautiful 4-man Deadeye right there. TJ Rohi taking names tonight. I loved that strategy. The decision to not go up top, going down bottom, then throwing that grab so they couldn't meet them at point. Wow.
That was insane. I've never seen a grab land. I don't know about you, Apara. I've never seen one there in the middle of the air. It was like suspended. Beautifully played by Total as well, who just held that high noon directly onto the point. They couldn't go anywhere. They were stuck. And unfortunately, Ricky Maru just couldn't get his shield up in time. Again, is a very fast, directly onto point here.
Oh, beautiful MEOW blocks off Triku. Immortality field just comes through to keep him up on time, but the grab has picked up 4 players. The kills aren't coming through though, but there's the shatter that you want to see if you're Ricky Maru. That's going to clean the field and give them points.
That's a 6K. Sextuple kill. Congrats, Ricky Maru, my man. That was massive there.
Yeah.
Quite a few ults though were traded out to get the point. Apple's still holding on to the amplification matrix. They'll be able to pin down Bamboozlers quite aggressively here, especially through this tiny choke.
There's an amplification matrix blocked off by the wall. The wall drops pretty quickly as Noxus and Gamona get some pretty quick kills. These fights are so quick when NIV is in charge. They just take names.
Apple's I almost said Bamboozlers there, sorry. Amplification matrix. That was all those kills went through his amp just there, and that's why everyone just got absolutely melted. That was one fight. You only had to use a single ult. That is what you want if you're NIV. You're just going directly to point here, and that's what you have to do.
Absolutely right. Bamboozlers onto the point, but there's a blizzard from behind, and Noxus gets the kill onto Ana from it. Uses the Deadeye onto Tracy, please, but Ricky Maru has to finish it off. That is another really quick fight. There might be a chance someone can get a touch, but it's pretty desperation moments here.
It is. There is a quick ball swap for Trico, trying their best to get back onto the point, but I'm not really sure because Nox is just waiting there to... Oh my god! Ricky Maru as well with the shatter. Who could forget the other stun that's basically on cooldown for this man?
Oh. Wow. Rick, this is what we were talking about. Their aggression. They win their fights so quickly. It's insane.
They do, and they, because of the aggression that's shown by both off-tank and main tank, that allows, the DPS to... Oh, I mean, sorry, I just got to stop here. This is a six-double kill. That was enormous there. That was huge shatter.
That was beautiful. Beautiful
stuff. Yeah, Apple's also playing out of their minds as well. Beautiful heals, and of course, the amplification matrix. Yeah, so I think the next map pick, if you were Bamboozlers, maybe try mix it up. Maybe try go Numbani or something like that, where you could try and run a dive. That's if you're comfortable with the dive, of course, because Argenvold, yes, you can kind of play whatever you want second point, but first points, it's kind of either poke or brawl v brawl. We know how good their brawl can be for NIV, how aggressive they go, and Nox right now is going absolutely insane on the McCree, getting loads of Deadeyes. But that's not to say that Turtle's not. Turtle as well showed up with a great 4K high noon. But right now, it's not his time. Unfortunately, NIV did get on top of them, taking out Nepal for the first map. And yeah, it looks like they have picked Eichenwald for Bamboozlers here, perhaps trying again on a little bit more of a different map. Oh my gosh, my brain. A hybrid map instead of a control map.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know why, because Ricky Maru, we saw him on Eichenwald last time, and being able to press W as hard as he does in those chokes, especially with, the Lucio and the BAP, they're playing so well together. I don't know. It's almost like they're like, have another go, and NIV might just say, yeah, all right, I will, and I'm just gonna win. So it's a bit of an uphill battle right now for Bamboozlers, but there's no reason they can't take it back. Their DPS have been playing really, really strong so far. I think Triku and Tracy, please, they've just got to try and match the same aggression or play quite defensively and maybe get Ricky Maru out of position or something like that with a cheeky May wall or two. I think that's what you've got to go for.
Yeah, absolutely right. Just getting a Ricky Maru blocked off and killed quickly. That's what you're going to be playing for here today, as we do see Ricky Maru opting for the Reinhardt rather than the Winston. Almost thought he might run it. I like to see the Pharmacy. Pharmacy's always a bit of a good time, and you know what? Noxus has been dominant on whatever they run, so I'm expecting to see some pretty quick kills early on in this fight.
Yeah, so Bamboozlers, they have gone instead for the Arnas on the Baptiste and Muffin on the Lucio, so a lot more aggression, whereas the other side, Ricky Maru, he can't really aggress as fast because the Lucio speed boost, so can't dictate the speed of the fight. You're just hoping for Nox to really land those rockets with the help of a cheeky damage boost or two to keep them in the choke long enough for Gamonic to also click the heads.
But already they're getting around this choke pretty quickly. We do want to see the DPS get through. That immortality field had to be used earlier. Now they're connecting onto Rikimaru. Rikimaru very wisely falls back to point, back to the support of the Ana there, because you don't want to be caught out around the corner of this tower here. But I mean, Bamboozlers, they're already onto point. Triku so far up. Toothless unfortunately doesn't get the Mayweather to block off Rikimaru. Oh, and Muffin gets found by Gamonic and taken down early. And we've got an amplification matrix coming out by Ana, but the anti-nade was good. Noxus already got a rocket barrage, but Tracy decides to say no thank you to that. But they do have to fall back. Tracy trying to run away now as the first hold goes to NIV.
Yeah, I think unfortunately they had to use Immortality Field way too early. That wasn't necessarily Ana's fault. It was just the fact that Nox and the pressure that he's applying onto the rest of the onto Bamboozlers here is just the downfall of, you know, their heals. They're enough, but perhaps they just need to get to the choke a little bit faster. I mean, we saw Apple got, oh my god, Nox!
Nox is taking out Triku straight away. They're not even going to push. Keep talking about what you were going to say. They have to pull back. You don't want to push us without a ride.
That was such a fast fight. I mean, look, but at least Triku's got the shatter, whereas Rikimaru is a little bit behind. I mean, knowing Rikimaru is probably going to get in about 20 seconds, but at least you have that advantage for a split second here. Moraman, though, awfully close to his own Graviton Surge, so look out for that one. Toothless as well. It's going to use the Blizzard, though. Yeah,
there's the Blizzard. Trying to get Rikimaru, but a good bubble keeps them up. Shatter takes down the Zarya and Mercy. Unfortunately, no kills. Triku does get Apple, but another great rocket barrage by Noxus. Unfortunately, the rest of the team have kind of fallen over during it, and Rikimaru left to stagger out as they cap point.
In 2 fights, Nox got 2 barrages.
Jeez.
That is insane. Nox has switched off the Pharah, though, which I think is a bright idea. You don't have that massive tower to really play around at that the Pharah definitely needs. Opted for the Widow, which I think is a smart decision, but Triku's pretty much seen it in his third eye and immediately swapped off to the Winston. In fact, both tanks have. We haven't actually seen a Rikimaru Winston. If he's as aggressive as before, we could be in for a real treat here, as already an anti-nade has landed on Toothless.
Wow, what a beautiful anti-nade, and the nano just means that Toothless falls instantly. Muffin follows up pretty quick. The tanks are gonna have to run away as Rikimaru is gonna try and play that aggressive fight. Tracy gets slept trying to run away, but I think this fight is mostly over.
Yeah, I love when you can play dive on something like this, because you have that high ground for the double bubble, and of course Rikimaru doesn't really even have to engage with the jump. Whereas if you're Triku, you have to. So, you know, with Rikimaru, you can jump down, be a little bit more aggressive because you have the means to escape pretty much immediately. Whereas you got to be super duper careful for Triku. Tracy Plays has got the grab though, so look out for that. Possibly trying to go into the high ground, although if he does, there's not really much follow-up here of Para. So Tracy Plays got their work cut out for them to try and get any value from this grab right here. There's a lot of hope, but here's a high noon, but immediately shut down.
Toothless getting a beautiful shot onto Gamonix there. We did see the Infrasites come up by Noxus, but not too much coming through there. Not enough information, but Noxus finds TJ Rohi with it actually. Turtle taken down quickly. We did see Grab come out by Tracy Plays as well, and that is why the payload is still able to keep making this progress with the kills that has been happening. But Gamonix taking out Muffin Please. Now it's just the tanks trying to push this as far as possible. Triku and Tracy. Triku popped the Primal Rage, takes down Gamonix with them. These tanks are not out of this fight, and that's giving time for Turtle to come back. Rikimaru's taken down by Tracy Please, but now it looks like NIV has point.
Yeah, NIV just has point though, and look, they're aggressing really fast. So I think it's a bright idea because there were a couple of late picks for NIV. Unfortunately, NIV just able to back off the bridge, and no Lucio boots, so no boots yet. But that's a massive anti-nade on the grab.
Great grab with an anti-nade. And that's just follow-up kills. What more can you say? Good stuff.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff, Apple. Immediately seeing the grab come out from Moira Man, anti-ing all of them. And Bamboozlers, they were just counting their chickens at that point. There was nothing else you could really do. Right now, they do have a couple of ultimates of Toothless, but other than that, nothing much. So this next fight, I hate to say it, but might have to just be an eco push as the rest of the team just push around, especially with this infra site. So you got to be extremely careful of going anywhere on the map for Bamboozlers right now because Nox can hit those shots.
Absolutely right, and we do see them try to come up the staircase, but a good stun by Eternal Donuts is slowing that down, but the dragons come out of nowhere, take down Apple. Noxus does get a good kill onto Triku, but Ricky Maru falls as well. Tracy finding the kills that they need here. Gamonix is trying to hide, he's got the Deadeye, wants to get a good kill, but Turtle and Noxus take Noxus takes out Toothless. Oh my gosh, there's so many T names. I'm sorry, Tracy, please. Turtle, Triku, Toothless. It's way too many right now, but they are pushing point.
Wait, no, I was about to say that there's an Ana playing back, but the Ana's actually playing Ana. It's a miracle.
Absolutely right.
Nano onto Triku, that will help just maybe not get kills, but certainly take space.
Yeah, you can see them getting held in that doorway. Ricky Maru does manage to jump out and stall point, and now Moriman jumping on just as Ricky Maru falls. Moriman taken down, and this fight in this room with Triku Primal raging means that the remaining stragglers are going to fall as they cap that second point.
Yeah, very well played there by Bamboozlers. They got a little bit caught up on second point, but because of the reasonably fast take onto first, you now see they've got a minute and 20 seconds to cap point C, which is notoriously hard. I do like this switch though from Riku Maru going into the Reinhardt over the Winston, and I'll explain later after
the sleep onto Gamonix means that Deadeye is getting no value, and Ricky Maru is anti-nated, so taking so much damage there, falls very quickly. Eternal Donut taken down by Turtles High Noon as this point is rolling right through third point. There has not been any point of congestion right now. We see Noxus getting split off by Triku. Has to try pull back to spawn. Can anyone touch Ricky Maru? Just able to jump on with Eternal Donut speed to help out. Nano onto Ricky Maru though, and that is a scary man. When you've got a Reinhardt Nanoed running at you, you are full of fear. Gamonic on that Reaper pick as well to finish off the kills.
Beautiful plays by Gamonic there. Got into the back line. Name of the Ricky Maru. I was about to say why I enjoyed the Reinhardt, but immediately got destroyed by Triku, who has actually opted out for the Reinhardt. And that's because Reinhardt v Reinhardt on this third point is much better. There's no place for a Winston to really softly dive in and out very safely. So this will just be a full-on brawl. But Ricky Maru with the shatter might turn the fight.
Yeah, grab connects onto 4, and then the Dragon Strike to split them off means that there's been kill one side on either board, but Noxus on the Doomfist taking down Muffin, and Gamonic is taking names as well. Moriman taking out the counterpart Zarya as it's just Ana and Toothless left, and that's going to be where the payload stops.
I mean, look, Bamboozlers, that was really tough. The third point is always really hard, and I think props to them getting it as far as they did, honestly. It was just really unfortunate. Ricky Maru came out, immediately got nanoed by Apple, which I think is 110% the right decision, because going into the next fight, they had so many ults to fall back on. Like, Ricky Maru didn't really even have to use Shatter in that last fight because Moira Man's grab was so perfect. So I love the little switches of compositions. You don't see this much from the lower teams, but the higher elo teams, you find that they, switch in and out depending on what part of the map they are. And Eichenwald is a perfect example of that. We start on that more brawly style with the pharmacy. Then we move on to the more divey, double bubble trouble. And then finally, we're back with a full-on brawl, Doomfist, Reaper, McCree, all those kind of close range. So Eichenwald has got everything like that, because really you can even get away with poke on first point because of that choke. So extremely well played there by NIV, just moving around to what's needed hero-wise, and it's definitely paid off. And we see Nox is on the Genji, which with no Ana, which is interesting enough. Oh no, never mind. I spoke too soon. Apple has gone onto the Ana for the Nox Nano Blade, so we'll be able to see that. On the other side, though, we have double support. Sorry, double hit scan, which are probably expecting Nox to be on the Pharah, but he is not. He is instead on that Genji for a lot faster engagement and a lot bigger. It's not really a dive. I think you're more just trying to poke, just be a bit of annoyance and rely on Ricky Maru because of and of course Moroman because of how aggressive the tanks can be.
Absolutely right, and that aggression has brought them all the way up to the tower here. There is no hold at the bridge, which is fair enough, to be honest. When you got that double hit scan, you don't want to be playing too far up and close and personal. We've already got a nano onto Ricky Maru, though. The immortality just keeping the players that were in it alive. But the shatter is good, takes down Eternal Donut. There's no more Lucio, but unfortunately, Trigger, you did get anti-nated, which does mean that you're gonna fall. But Toothless taking down Apple. There's no more supports for the remaining players. They pop out the amplification matrix, and honestly, you gotta be a little bit happy about that if you are NIV. That's an ultimate that they're not gonna use next fight. I would probably reset here, but Gamonix and Mori, man, they want to commit. They're gonna keep this fight going. Unfortunately, Gamonix is falling, and we've got Noxus and Eternal Donut back now. Are they falling back? They're falling back, but I mean, Apple and Ricky Maru here, this fight, they want to keep taking it, I think. They're probably going to get aggressive. Yeah, Ricky Maru's already pushing up onto the point. The shatter comes through, connects onto 3 there, and it does mean that Turtle falls as well as Toothless. Triku tries to get the charge, doesn't connect onto much, and you know what? That decision to keep the fight going won them the point. Bamboozlers were bamboozled.
They were bamboozled by a negative ion vacuum. That's what they were. That was so back and forth. Like, they lost their main tanks so early there, but they had the composure to wait it out, wait for Nox, wait for the rest of them to come back, and because of that, they, I think the big pick, in my opinion, was Muffin. Getting Muffin really early there, really late there as a stagger almost, despite it looking like it was Muffin's way. But the Muffin was crumbled, and now the High Noon on the high ground does pick up Eternal Donut. That is really unfortunate, and he might see a lot of aggression coming up from Bamboozlers. Ooh. Now they have the speed boost, and that will fall with Apple, but Nox is still alive. That, although it's coming back in the way of Bamboozler's favor, and I'm sorry for not passing it back to you there, Apara, but my tongue was still going.
That's so good, man.
Very good play there. They took the high ground. What's interesting to me, Apara, is that they haven't switched to that Winston that we saw last time, and I think the reason for that is how close both Reinhardts are to their shadows. Last fight, they weren't really. They're only like 30 to 40%. We can see the Nanoblade.
The Nanoblade. Nanoblade comes out, gets stunned, and Immortality, but Noxus is still up and running in this fight. Unfortunately, gets taken down by TJ Rohi. Ricky Maru, though, has built up that shatter, and Trico had thrown it out. Tried to do the 180 shatter, but doesn't get any connection as the shield was up. Toothless finishes off Ricky Maru. Moyman does take down Trico, but I mean, that is going to be that fight done as Gamonix is just getting some cheeky picks in the back line.
Yeah, the Gamonix, the fight is over, man, but he's still getting picks. And no, that does not help for NIV. Internal Donut falling quite late there. Still no switches onto the Winston except for Triku, as I say that. Thank you, Triku.
Yep.
Who's immediately taking that high ground. That was a dirty headshot from Nox. That's Toothless down pretty much immediately. Has switched off onto the Echo though, hoping for a little bit more aerial support and possibly diving a little bit more with Triku.
Oh, grab up on the high ground, up on the top of the castle here. Immortality has to come out to keep the team up and running here. Triku though jumping onto Eternal Donut, putting a lot of pressure on that Lucio, trying to make sure that they can't continue being this aggressive. Gamonix popped the Deadeye but didn't really connect onto anything, just used it to reload in the end, unfortunately there. But Noxus, a good kill onto Muffin, and that's what you want to see with the Widow, taking down such a crucial support like Brig there. Deadeye on the high ground, taking down 2. Apple and Noxus, they're out of this fight now, and Toothless on Echo, actually. That's a fun pick to behold as they swap off the Hanzo onto Echo and now just putting pressure on Ricky Maru.
Yeah, I think this is a great swap. You do have to be careful of the double hit scan though, but because of the swap, oh my gosh! Nox isn't done with the fight. He wants that pick, and now he's got infrasights. Bamboozlers are going to have to be super duper careful jumping in at any point in time now. They don't have no idea where Nox is even peeking from.
Yeah, that infrasights clips Echo's wings. Literally, you cannot fly around because you will get shot. We see Lucio trying to jump into Toothless, but unfortunately Eternal Donut gets burnt down by the focusing beam there, taking Lucio out, and Noxus gets primal raged into the void there. You gotta be happy with that if you're the Bamboozlers right now, as Apple throws out a bit of an amplification matrix. You can just go outside the door. You don't need to play in the castle here. NIV is continuing to push this payload as Bamboozlers are falling back and grouping up right now. And there's a little bit of a 1v1. Noxus on the Tracer, taking down Turtle here. This payload is continuing to progress. High Noon comes out by Gamonix, and there is a grab to pick him up. Slept means that you cannot get the ultimate off. A sound barrier comes through to just keep this fight alive, but the duplication from Toothless gets taken down instantly, and that is second point capped.
After such a long fight, that fight went for about 2 minutes. They're super back and forth. I mean, Nox has switched off the Widow, already got a pulse bomb into the trade and immediately used it. Ooh. And that is a pick, another pick going the way. Ana falling, does switch off to the BAP. Now you're onto that last point here, and it's really looking in the favor of NIV. The aggression of Para, like we're seeing, the fight, it might be over almost, but then suddenly Ricky Mari just comes out. He's got the shatter now with Triku's barrier falling ever so low. You're gonna be so good with this one.
There it is!
Shatter.
A beautiful shatter, taking down 4. Unfortunately, the MEOW meant that nobody could follow up on the kills. TJ Rohi Turtle throwing out a bit of a deadeye and then finishing off Ricky Maru. But this is NIV we're talking about. This fight isn't over until every player is dead, as we see Moriman stalling out on the high ground, jumping down, wanting to get a couple more kills, but gonna freeze and fall.
Look, I mean, you just have to die as fast as possible there, right? And look, because Moriman stayed alive a little bit longer and now got grabbed coming into this next fight. Ricky Maru only just used Shatter, already at 63% himself, basically doubling Triku, which is insane right now. But both support ults are up for Bamboozlers, so there's no doubt about it, they can counter the ultimate of NIV, but you got to be super duper careful.
Early amplification matrix, and Ricky Maru just walks in front of it, but the shatter by Triku is good, and that's going to shut down that fight straight away. Yeah, everyone falls.
Everyone fell. Triku got like 50% on his ultimate in that one fire strike.
Yeah.
Also, as we saw, taking out Apple. Nox switching back to the Tracer. You got to touch card as soon as possible here. Toothless, though, sitting there pretty with a blizzard that you can just chuck straight on point last second. It's going to be really, really hard. Moriman, though, does have that grab. Got to make it work, and here comes the blizzard.
The blizzard freezes up Apple. Apple falls because of it, and there goes Ricky Maru as well. Moriman has to be pushed all the way into the back line. Deadeye comes out by Gamonix, but the shield is up. Only Ana falls because of it, and then Gamonix quickly falls after. You know what? This fight, whilst it was looking pretty good for NIV, has gone all the way of Bamboozlers as the final stragglers are taken down, and they manage to hold it without letting them capture the payload.
Beautifully played. Ricky Maru got taken out so fast, despite being so close to ult, that he didn't even get to shatter that last fight. And that could have turned it. Extremely well played there from Bamboozlers. Triku, now he's the Reinhardt with the play of the game. Taking the spot of Ricky Maru. Beautiful little shatter there. I mean, you can see how fast that ultimate charge came up and shut down that push. And shut down Eichenwald from NIV. Now we're moving on to our Assault. And look, my breath has definitely been taken away. Bamboozlers, they can play Brawl. They met NIV and they've matched the aggression. Or or in the case of, sometimes they haven't have had to be a little bit, maybe here or there. But even the second point, which kind of looked a little one-sided, they still held it for a decent 3 minutes, which was massive, especially because of how fast first point was lost. For Bamboozlers, but because of that monkey switch, because of the, Echo got a little bit of value, maybe not as much as they were looking for, but it was enough to buy time. And I think at that point, it's like, okay, we're not here to win second point because, we've always got the third point, and the third point is where it matters at the end of the day, especially because of how far Bamboozlers pushed up on their attack. They did an exceptionally good job. And they made the most of it on defense. Any spaces they could grab. And of course, Toothless with the blizzard, freezing up everybody, even though his whole team was in the grab. And then Ana keeping everybody alive with that immortality field. Worked out a treat. And it looks like we're going to go into Temple of Anubis, which anything could really be run. But based on yesterday, what we saw from NIV, it's probably just going to be Brawl v Brawl again. Expect Nox on that Widow. Pick right in the back, just trying to land shots, or of course, if you're on attack, you'd probably just go up on that, that weird archway point. If you were Bamboozlers here, I would almost stick with maybe like a May Junkrat. The problem, of course, would be Nox. If they do select that Widow pick, then you have really nothing against him. But why I'm saying May is because, you know, NIV, we know what they like to play. They love to play that Reinhardt, and they love to go aggressive. And because of Toothless on that May, Ricky Maru, you notice a little bit of hesitation now with how far and how fast he goes. And because of that, they're able to pick him off so quickly. So the May has been really crucial for Bamboozlers' victory, and they took out Eichenwald, and it's now evened up.
Oh, absolutely right. And it might even be worth, if we move into second point, for Noxus to swap off onto that May to maybe join in and sort of make Toothless earn their money tonight in terms of just getting those map wins. But I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what NIV is going to do to try and switch it up and make it so that if Bamboozlers are learning their playstyle and meeting their aggression, NIV are gonna have to play it a bit smarter and try and maybe not necessarily be less aggressive, but be smarter with your aggression, you know. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide to run here as we do, like you said, move into Temple of Anubis, or as more commonly as you like to call it, Temple of Draw Anubis. We'll see whether we get that draw coming through. Teams are 1-1 at the moment, so it's really anybody's game, and that makes me excited because, you know, NIV was looking really good last night, and I like the fact that Bamboozlers are bringing it to them.
I know, making them really work for it, and playing those different comps as well from maybe what NIV is used to, pulling out, you know, a couple of different heroes here and there, and I can't forget Turtle as well. Well, I know him as Turtle anyway. TJ Rowe, is that how you say it? I just call him
I'm
Turtle
saying TJ Rohe, but I'm calling it Turtle because I like that too.
Is there a poll in chat? Will Pat mispronounce anyone? I'm sorry, Turtle. I only know you as Turtle, so as soon as I look at your name, Turtle. Anyway, he's been playing really, really well on the hit scan. Can't forget that. Able to get those high noons even on Eichenwald. And Nox, despite his quite larger hero pool than we're seeing, it has been definitely tested. Had to go the Tracer. Did get a couple of shots on Widow, but Nox is kind of seeing what works out. But unfortunately, because of that mystery heroes like play, didn't quite get enough ultimates to perhaps seal the deal for NIV. But now we're finally into Temple of Anubis, and we can probably expect a very interesting defense, actually. We can expect to see a double bubble trouble defense, which I actually don't mind. The reason why is because with this, you can play quite defensively. You can dive Nox if he is going to play this Widow that I'm saying. And then, of course, you've got Toothless on a Junkrat, which is always a good pick. On Temple of Anubis, you've got that high ground. You just rain nades from above, and tiny little chokes that they have to push through. Always just a haven for a Junkrat. And then Turtle bringing up the rear with some hit scan action. It looks like it's just going to be the classic brawl comp with Nox on the Widow, doing a little bit of a jump shot, trying to get a little bit of a pick. Doesn't, unfortunately. But yeah, immediately going to take left side. Yeah,
they're just rolling through the sort of pathing that you take here on Temple of Anubis, this left side, and Junkrat's not really giving them too much pressure right now as they managed to go all the way to high ground and immediately taken down Toothless and Triku here. I think you maybe wanted to be a little bit more aggressive if you were Toothless on that Junkrat. Nox is taking names, getting 2 picks right now. Ana on the high ground does manage to finish off Gamonic, sleeps Apple, but no, finally falls to Eternal Donor on the Lucio, and that was a fast push and an early cap.
That really was. Unfortunately, there wasn't really much tankiness there, and just allowed Ricky Maru just to press W, and you can see the aggression here as they just want to get on point. Excuse me, as fast as possible. Nox, of course, staying in the back line, taking little pot shots, and of course opening up. And like you said as well, what happened to the Junkrat? There was nothing. No massive amount of damage there. And because of that, yeah, Reinhardt and, Zarya for NIV just were able to push and press W. Unfortunately, that wall will not work.
Yeah, that wall is not positioned anywhere you want it to be, and a good amplification matrix means you can fire strike that Deadeye and shatter the remaining of the team. A really good grab means that Noxus and Ricky Maru can just roll through, and wow, is that going to be Temple of Anubis done already? As Turtle is going to pop out that Doomfist, but can't even touch.
That was insane from NIV. I loved that. There's the aggression. We're back on Temple of Anubis, or Temple of Drawn Anubis. We still don't know how the defense is going to go from NIV, but if their attack is anything to go by, that was beautiful. Unfortunately, the wall as well didn't quite work out, but it still worked in their favor with an enormous grab. Followed by, of course, Ricky Maru shattering them, which is basically curtains for the rest of the team, with no support ults to keep anybody alive. Immortality field already used previously in that fight. So for Bamboozlers, there's nothing much you could really do there. For defense, they want to try Nox again on the Widow, and why not? I mean, on attack, which is... It can be a little bit hard with the Widow with as many pillars on point B, but point A is so open and exposed to, attackers or defenders of the like. And this is where you can really shine. And that's why Nox shined on attack point A, is because you can just leave him there. And you can't do anything about that because of the aggression of Ricky Maru. There's nothing, there's no time to look to your left or to your right and see that Widow just destroying your team from the sidelines here. So it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle. Turtle, though, is taking the mantle of trying to take out Nox and the brutality that he's bringing forth right now. They're still opting for the dive, and Toothless is on the Echo, so expect quite a decent dive. Muffin on the Brig, which I don't know why. There's no dive onto the Ana, but we'll see how it goes with a couple more packs heading away.
You say there's no dive onto the Ana, but Ricky Maru dived onto Ana. Reinhardt can be dived if he wants to be. Moyman finishing off Ana, and Ricky Maru is just getting so aggressive. I really liked it. They just noticed the pathing this dive was going to try and take, and they just collapsed onto the support so quickly.
Ricky Maru, 92% to shatter.
Oh no.
I mean, Treeker's also basically got primal as well, so both main tanks did a heck of a lot there. But exactly, they knew the pathing, and unfortunately Ana just couldn't position correctly. There's a bubble falling onto Treeker, immediately getting taken down. Beautiful anti-node into the back. Gavinix falling extremely low here, and an immortality field has had to be used.
Yeah, absolutely right. This time the pathing worked a little bit better, but Noxus got the kill onto Turtle. That's what you want to see. A good anti-nade, though, means that Ricky Maru's shatter really got no value, unfortunately, as Ricky Maru and Eternal Donut are down right now. You can jump onto point if you're the Bamboozlers here, and that's what they want to do. Moriman just being fought in this corner here, no hope of winning that fight. And a good sleep onto Noxus means that Noxus isn't going to be able to harass them on point. But, okay, there is a Lucio that's going to jump on quickly to just stall a little bit more time.
Buy a little bit more time. But already, just for the audience, how fast we can see NIV's take. They've already beaten the time of Bamboozlers, even if they're on point right now. Triku, beautiful job separating the entire team of NIV there with this primal rage, and trusting that this team will take out Moira Man while he went and dealt with Apple and Eternal Donut himself. And here comes the Nano onto the monkey.
Gamonic pops the Deadeye just to make it so that there was no possible usage of that Nano, but takes out Turtle in the process as well. Moriman finishes off Toothless, and this is just going to be a collapse of players. I really liked that Deadeye.
I totally agree with you there. Unfortunately, Triku couldn't do anything about it, and you couldn't do anything about it because he switched off to the Reinhardt here, which I do agree with. It's hard to get much of anything with Winston on second point here, unless you've got pretty much a full dive. But you can see how mobile and how tanky NIV are being, so it would be very hard. So I do agree with that switch, but that Deadeye was absolutely enormous to spread out everybody, somehow still taking out Turtle in the meantime. Here you can see the pathing onto the right side, but that Dynamite's going to get a ton of ult for Nox.
Yeah, huge Dynamite rally comes out during the Dynamite, so it's going to keep the team up and running, and the grab connects onto 4, but doesn't connect onto any kills because Immortality came out, and Ricky Maru just so aggressive, taking down 3, the charge onto Turtle, and yeah, going to be chasing down the remaining players who are alive. Just Ana trying to get away and does manage to.
Just as well. Beautiful. The beat wasn't used immediately as well. I was in my head, I was like, come on, beat. Internal donut, surely you're going to beat. But no, held it to the last second, and because of that, they beat not defensively, but actually to engage his main tank after a grab. And I mean, 90% to shatter already, just after using it only, what, 30 seconds ago? Here comes a Bob, which will displace quite a number of members. I'm not sure if it's going to get too much value here, as you can kind of just shield it and hide away. And Turtle immediately getting a couple of picks leading on to his next fight.
Absolutely. The Shatter doesn't really connect onto much, and there's a Deadeye there. Shatter responded by Triku, and there's the kills that you're needing. They do manage to get the kills, and they're probably going to be able to get at least 2 ticks before Noxus jumps onto point here. Yep, just wraiths onto point, trying to stall it out, but unfortunately the anti-nade means that there's no more point progress there. But this is 2 CP, and this is what happens every 2 CP, is the defensive team is managing to come out on those stall heroes and just able to stall out a little bit more time, as they do manage to stall it out to 2 minutes.
Me. I'm on a par. Say it with me, buddy. Temple of Dronubus. All right, we're on to our third round.
I mean, to be fair, it's 2 minutes to 5 minutes. If they get a draw here,
as Bloodborne would say, go on. It's 2 minutes versus 5 minutes. NIV with the clear lead time-wise. You've got at least, what, 6, maybe 7 fights more. And that's so critical to get all the ults aside. But well done, of course, to Bamboozlers for taking point B quite quickly as well. Point A was actually longer for them to take than point B, which is actually, I mean, usually the other way around. You know, point A is either a steamroll or nothing happens until the very last fight. But then point B is exactly the same. It's just this grueling on and on and on. You might get a couple of team kills and still only get 2 ticks, but Bamboozlers basically did a Uno reverse card and did exactly what NIV did to them the round previous. And as soon as they got onto that point with that team wipe, especially, you know, Triku onto that Reinhardt, who's now in Winston, got so many picks, and Ricky Maru came back as Winston, but as soon as he jumped on point, got immediately charged by Triku, which made me burst out laughing, because there was no sense of contention. Unfortunately, the boop as well, that was beautifully played there by Nox, booping them away, and now it's just you're just gonna have to wait for cooldowns, as Nox is just gonna absolutely destroy Turtle, and that will be an immediate retreat.
Yeah, that's the value that we were talking about for Junkrat. As it looks like Triku is now ready to push in. We've got Turtle back in for this fight. We're going to see whether Eternal can get another really nice boop, and there it is there, but unfortunately doesn't get him off the point. Triku gets thrown down to the ground once again, jumping back on, and Toothless gets the kill onto Noxus. That Genji pick coming through a little bit clutch now. Turtle takes down their counterpart Garmonix, but the fire strike from Ricky Maru means that Toothless is going to fall. There's only 60 seconds left, so if you are on the side of Bamboozlers, you want to play this properly. You are up in players and you got a better return in terms of your attacking spawn here. The nano onto Triku is good though. Immortality has to come out to keep this team up and running. Moriman and Ricky Maru falling so low, but are getting some really good support. Amplification Matrix comes out, and the shatter by Ricky Maru means that Muffin and Tracy are going to fool Triku though, popping that Primal Rage, and Toothless now in the back line. There's only 20 seconds left. You've got to be a little bit worried.
You do, and unfortunately that dive was unsuccessful despite the nano onto Triku, and yeah, nothing's... I really don't see a way that Bamboozlers can win this. You've got to really rely on Muffin's rally perhaps, and then Toothless to get... That is an enormous grab. That's just going to shut down Bamboozles, Apara, and now it's up to Triku to even touch, which I don't think he can. Nox, it switched off the Junkrat when he died, went onto the Tracer, and that last fight there, the reason why Monkey of Triku died so fast is because Nox just came out of spawn and had one mission, and that one mission was to annoy the absolute pants of Ana. And because of that, just being an absolute distraction to Ana. Not necessarily, in the end, he did fall to Nox, but even just distracting him long enough for the rest of his team to take out Triku and take out Tracy, unfortunately, was the demise. And Toothless, while the Genji pick looked good, unfortunately, he just could not get that blade, even after 2 minutes of trying. The shields and the amount of healing was just too strong anyway. And now you've got to defend this 1 point for 5 minutes for Bamboozle. It is looking like an incredibly hard uphill fight here.
Yeah.
There are a little bit of a change here with Tracy going for the Diva, perhaps trying to dive Nox a little bit more while still having, the Reinhardt brawl. And you're able to eat quite a lot of damage, of course, as the Diva. Peel for your supports. And Toothless back on that Junkrat, which you're hoping will pop off a lot more than last time. You can see the speed that we've always seen Ricky Maru taking. Oh, there it is!
That's what we want to see.
Finally, the Junkrats come through.
Yeah, that was much better positioning this time out of Toothless, actually making sure that you're just sitting in the spot where they're gonna try and push. That's the call you want to make it. But I mean, this is NIV we're talking about. It's a sort of blink and you'll miss it fight. They're probably gonna want to rush in right now and be really aggressive. So just be prepared for that as they go into this next fight. The positioning from Toothless is good though, as he has noticed that they're gonna opt for another pathway. A huge anti-nade means that Gamonix is falling so low. Apple gets taken out, and there goes Gamonix as well. Toothless really coming through with the Junkrat hit pick here now, as Toothless is taking names.
Toothless has already got Riptide. That's what Toothless already has. Whenever I say Toothless, I don't know about you guys, but I just constantly think of the How to Train Your Dragon. Anyway, great soundtrack. Please give it a listen. It's insane. Anyway, Nox, interestingly enough, has had enough of trying to be a hit scan in that backline, probably because of how annoying Tracy's been. Gone onto that Reaper. Unfortunately, the tire doesn't really get much, but does get a lot of damage.
Oh, and the shatter goes into a shield as well. The Riptire connected onto that Immortality, like you said, they had to pop Immortality. A good stun by Turtle, but Gamonix gets the kill onto Muffin. Just manages to find them. An Amplification Matrix, so much damage coming through. The Nano, though, comes out onto Triku, but the kills are so back and forth right now. Is there anyone left to fight on point? As one tick is all that's left? Seems like there is a bit of Toothless and Ana action, but they can't get to point. And that is going to go to NIV.
Well done, NIV, keeping it to that 4 rounds. We love it. A lot better than seeing the light of day on a Sunday. Ricky, it's every map, it's one or the other Reinhardt.
It's a Reinhardt play.
Turn, I guess. This was the beautiful shatter, with, of course, with the Graviton. Getting past 5k, it looks like. Counting, of
as well as an ultimate shutdown in that as well.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
of course there was. Apple 3 as well. Apple, beautiful. I just call them squares. Amplification matrices, working really well with Ricky Maru. You always see a pick or two at least coming from those amplification matrices through the fire strikes or through knocks, just slamming down the damage into Tracy, who fell extremely fast that last fight there. And yeah, it's so the last well, it could be the last, maybe not though. It was Escort of Watchpoint Gibraltar or Junkertown. I honestly, seeing both of these teams play now, I would almost opt for. I don't really like the map myself, but Watchpoint Gibraltar, purely because you can dive a little bit more for Bamboozlers here. Oh my goodness, they read my mind. I think it's actually Watchpoint Gibraltar. Yeah, I really like Triku's Winston. Like, I honestly do. The primals that this man gets is able to display so many members of NIV. Like, NIV, don't get me wrong, they're playing really, really well. But Triku, when he's on his game with Tracy and all the bubbles are falling together, Arna's keeping everybody alive, same as Muffin, of course. I think this is going to work really well in their favor, especially, you can play it on defense. You can also obviously play it on attack. That's where I love to play Brawl anyway, is on that attack. You got so much high ground, not just first point, all throughout second. Third point, though, you can switch to that more Reinhardt-y style for watch point. But I do like this pick from Bamboozlers. We've seen them come out with that dive, and we've seen how strong they can be. I think it's just now up to Toothless and Turtle to really try and carry their team to victory through quite a lot of picks. Maybe you might see Toothless back on the Echo because, to get that high ground a little bit more effectively. Turtle, we haven't seen too much, hero pool variety from him, but perhaps he can dip into someone also divey. Muffin and Anna, Anna's playing very well with, the nanos, of course, falling onto Triku, keeping him alive, obviously, and able to get as many kills as they are. NIV, I mean, what else can you say about them? Apart, they are doing an exceptional job with their aggression. Like we saw in Temple of Anubis, there was a little bit of a hiccup on Iconvold, but they are back with, Ricky Maru taking the lead, and Apple keeping the rest of the team alive alongside Eternal Donut, who's just been basically on speed boost this entire time.
Absolutely. I mean, running the speed boost is huge for Ricky Maru. It means that Ricky can be as aggressive as possible and still get out of the fight. One other thing that I really do want to point out as well is both Arnas are throwing some beautiful bio nades, like getting some really good anti-nades coming out and just nades healing the team. It's been incredible stuff.
No, I do agree. So on defense, here, this is no, I was about to say no way Bamboozlers, no way. Anyway, there was a bastion for everybody. But yeah, Ricky Maru again, the double bubble trouble with they can't really pick what defensive DPS they want to play. I think finally landing on the Ashe Echo, which I think is a really nice pick. Eternal Donut as well doesn't have to be on that Lucio. Finally, now onto Brig Jail. Off Lucio Jail onto Brig Jail. It's like, okay, what can we do to play around Ricky Maru? Turtle, I think, kind of expecting a Nox Widow, so matching that will be very surprised with an Echo instead. Toothless with the Tracer, probably getting to the backline, annoying Apple, but Eternal Donut will probably be able to keep Apple alive.
Oh, good push off on Triku. That whip shot from Eternal Donut. Kamonok's getting a good kill onto Toothless as well. And Triku is just not allowed on the high ground today, as they do get sticky-nated by Noxus there, finishing off the fight pretty dang early.
Yeah, really early and really effectively as well. Those boots, like, they might not have a Lucio, but it was like they had boots on cooldown. They had, they used Gamorix, Coach Gun alongside the whip shot as well. And you're right, like Triku just can't get any value. That is a huge dive directly into the backline. Both main tanks just going a ham at each other. Ricky Maru is caught out. They should be able to get him, but the support might be too much.
Really good armor packs connecting onto Ricky Maru, meaning that Ricky is going to stay up in that fight. Incredible stuff. And Turtle just trying to take some good angles, but can't really find much. Echo now gonna jump onto Turtle, and yep, Noxus takes down Turtle just like that. Gamonix as well taking down Toothless. Both TPS taking down their counterparts. And a sleep onto Ricky Maru. That could be what you want, but no, another huge Bionade. Gamonix then getting those final kills, and you see Triku just pushing Gamonix, just punishing them for taking down all of his friends.
Oh my gosh, the Bionade Zapara! That landed on 4 members of Bamboozlers, and because of that, obviously there's no healing allowed, and mixed in with the dive of how much damage can be applied at once there seems to be Toothless wants to match the Echo pick. Now, Nox, though, does have that duplication. Look out for it. Gone onto the Winston, interestingly enough.
Yeah, double Winston jumping onto you. That's a scary sight to behold as Turtle falls from it, and Moorman taking out both supports. Gamonix finishes off Triku, and now it's just Tracy being finished off in that fight.
That was a lot of monkey. There was a lot of monkey. Yeah, I mean, they only had to use one ult, and that was Nox. And really, even then, did Nox do much? The team playing exceptionally well together, NIV. Bamboozlers, they're coming up with a couple of ults. Tracy, if they can get into the right position here, can get a really critical Graviton Surge mixed in with perhaps, Triku being an absolute nuisance. Here comes a rally, though, from Muffin. That is the
Primal Rage! What an amazing Primal Rage, pushing 2 off the map, Anna and Turtle, and there goes Muffin as well. Ricky Maru showing us that they don't only play Reinhardt.
He's not a Reinhardt one trick, ladies and gentlemen. He's the monkey play that we're seeing from Ricky Maru has been unmatched so far. And yet now Bamboozlers, last fight, 30 seconds remaining, everybody. And it's not really looking that good. That was an early nade, though, so perhaps they can't get anti-nade anymore. That is a singular grab falling onto Triku. He's not going to last more than 2 seconds. Doesn't even have Primal Rage again. There's Bob directly onto Cart just to annoy everybody.
Yeah, Nano onto Ricky Maru now as well. Ricky Maru can get aggressive even with the anti-nade. Both supports fall just from the mace of Eternal Donor. And yeah, now it's Tracy Please just getting bullied in a corner as they can't even touch payload.
They can't. And Tracy couldn't even use a grab that single fight as well. Bamboozlers, they were a little bamboozled, I think, by the plays that NIV kept launching at them. Like, okay, we might have it this time. They're a couple of volts down. But then all of a sudden, Ricky Maru comes out, gets a 3K off the map, just out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
So Bamboozlers,
you can't plan for that.
They've got to be so careful. They only got just under the bridge, 67 meters underneath as well. It was barely anything where Cart eventually ceased. And it's looking extremely in NIV's favor. But it's not to say Bamboozlers can't come back from this. Tracy is opting for the Diva instead, which I do agree with. But you can see a completely different composition switch if they do decide to run it from NIV with that Orisa Hog, which is extremely interesting on attack. You'd expect it on defense, but Toothless now also taking the mantle of the Widow from Turtle just so he can concentrate on the Ashe. There's double hit scan. They're probably looking to try get picks while the tanks make space here. Whereas if you're on the side of NIV, your main and almost only win condition here is the Nano Blade from Nox, and really you only need one massive win condition. If they can get a 6k, Bamboozlers come back pretty much staggered from day one.
Now this is interesting. They're immediately going to go swap comp. So I don't know why they decided to run that. Maybe they just really wanted an early pick to set up onto payload, but they're going to opt to match the dive here as Ricky Maru jumps onto that high ground. Doesn't get booped down like his counterpart Trico was being booped down. But currently it's just a wee bit of a sort of even fight here. But the payload is already underground going through the underground path here through the archway, and this is, yeah, you need to contest point, and because of that, they're getting split up. Muffin gets taken down, and Turtle is taken down by Gamonix as well. The tanks are having to play high ground, drops down, Triku though falls, and this is just a quick collapse. Tracy manages to stall out a little bit, but there is no hope as this payload rolls through and gets captured, and NIV's going to take it 3-1.
NIV are your victors. Very well played. I mean, it goes without saying what my MVP was. We couldn't stop saying this man's name, Ricky Maru. You is the 3K boot right here. I mean, this was... Oh, it almost actually jumped off the map there. This was... It was enormous players, constantly having the team of Bamboozlers on their toes. I mean, that was such a fast attack as well. You know, and Bamboozlers, they didn't really have much of a defense to speak of. They allowed Cart to get underneath the bridge, which is a massive no-no. Because, you know, NIV somehow didn't even allow Cart underneath until the very last fight and then immediately shut it down. So, very well played there, NIV. And, of course, Ricky Maru is my MVP for that match. And yeah, Apara, any last thoughts before we go on to a real quick break?
Definitely just want to say two things. Ricky Maru absolutely played out of their mind, but you gotta give a lot of credit to the supports for allowing Ricky Maru to play aggressively.
Donut, yeah, Eternal Donut and Apple, very well played. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if like 90% of your heals have to for Ricky Maru.
From Ricky Maru. Absolutely right. Yeah. And one final thing I want to just quickly say is congratulations to everyone who won the prediction choosing Negative Ion Vacuum as our winners for this series. 41% chose NIV, and you know, you're not going to lose your channel points here today. So congratulations.
Congratulations indeed, but hold on. It's not over yet. We still have one more match for you tonight, which is starting pretty soon. We're just going to take a short break. We've got Div 5, MEOW versus Vanilla Latte. Fill up those water bottles, have a little snack break, and we'll be back soon with our next match. See you then. Welcome back, everybody, to our second game of Season 12, Stage 2, Week 2 of AAOL. I am your co-host, Papadaka, or you can call me Pap, and I'm joined with Apara. Hello, Apara.
Hello, hello. We are back for our second series of the night, MEOW versus Vanilla Latte, and this is our Div 5 game, so it's going to be just as exciting as our game before. And I really hope we see some more aggression. I really enjoyed watching the aggression from NIV. So I hope MEOW or Vanilla Latte bring that aggression. But let's run through some of the teams, starting with MEOW.
Yeah, let's start with MEOW. So for MEOW, we've got quite a few members of the team. Let's preface this by saying both of them have all 9 players in the lobby, and they will be switching out between different maps, trying different people and players, purely because everybody wants to join Vanilla Latte and MEOW. Like, couldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Sorry.
Exactly.
But anyway,
right.
we have on the tank. So let's do the starting 6 first. We have on the tank, we've got Lawless Kai, Tea Leaf, Lime, Hansel, and Snugless on the support, and Kim as well, bringing up the final support for the starting 6. And the people that will be subbed in and out, you can look out for Tipsy, Saturn's Bars, and Ataku.
Absolutely right. And then moving into Vanilla Latte, we've got our starting 6 of Tim and Pish on tank, which actually, it looks like they're opting to run Reboot first, so we might just... we might see a bit of a sub in on first match, but currently I'm being told Reboot is the sub. And then they've got Shiro and Shortbread running DPS, but potentially TV Weird maybe subbing in at some point. And then on support, they've got 3 players, which currently we've got Pish and Apollo running the support starting lineup with... I'm assuming either Hayned or Store in that backline for the sub there.
Yeah, I think Score is their
support?
sub. If I can, in like 13 seconds, the people to look out for in MEOW is Hansel, who's apparently an incredible hit scan, and Lime, who is a Sim 1 trick. Apara, we have a Sim 1 trick. So, wouldn't you believe it? They've cracked out the Sim immediately. So, yeah, MEOW, they'll always have the comp that will play around the Symmetra. And then Vanilla Latte, the person of interest they gave me, it just said Tim. So, guys, Tim. Can we get some Tims in the chat? Please look out for Tim, who is the main tank of the team. Let's hear it for Tim. Yeah, we got a little bit of a pause on because Pish has DC'd. With 700 ping apparently, but now it gives us a little bit more time to talk about the team, unless one of the hundreds of subs comes in. But MEOW is a team that's been formed all the way back in February 2019. They have been a long time contender of AAOL, and it started being 2 teams, Team A and Team B, and they eventually merged together. They're actually a university team from Murdoch University, and MEOW stands for Murdoch Esports Overwatch. So they know each other, they study together, they know the ins and outs of how their brains work, not just Overwatch, but also whatever they may study in university. And for some reason, these guys can never play meta, but they win, and I love that. I love when it's a little bit out of meta, although, MEOW, I must say, right now it's looking kind of meta. Except, of course, Lime, which is quite out of meta with the Symmetra. Never really had a meta with Sim, actually. Yeah. And apparently they had a 2-year stint with no hit scan, so whenever there was a fire on the pitch, they got absolutely destroyed. So 2 years is a bloomin' long time. That means only a month ago they finally picked up a hit scan. There is Overwatch recruitment. You guys know that, right? Anyway, and finally, do you want to give us a little bit of an info more info on Vanilla while we wait for these guys to come out?
Well, the first thing that's going to be interesting for Vanilla Latte is their tank sub is actually playing DPS, probably the only DPS tank available, or maybe Reaper as well, but they're running Mei, so that'll be interesting to see how that runs. They've opted for a tank player to run the DPS right now. They've been playing for roughly last week of January, so I'm guessing since last week of January. Vanilla Latte is underrated, yet the taste ain't bad. So that's just talking about, the drink Vanilla Latte,
Fair.
Apparently, the team, it's like when you're in a cafe and you sit with a bunch of strangers, started to talk with a cup of coffee on their hands, and everyone discovered their potential and interest. But it looks like the game is now up and running. Symmetra tallies on both sides to get the teams up and running to point. But T-Leaf already really far into the fight here. Good MEOW coming out by Reboot means that the supports struggle to keep T-Leaf up, but T-Leaf is still standing, and Tim is actually the one that falls. Tim, we need the hero back in our life. There is
for Tim.
Unfortunately, that does mean that an early cap is gonna go to MEOW.
Anyone but Tim. Oh gosh, that sucks, losing to main tank so early there. I mean, he's back. Tim's back. He's ready for action.
Tim is back and angry as ever. Hansel, though, taking down Reboot. Yeah, name like Tim, you gotta be scary, but Tim actually doesn't manage to block the shatter, and that means that Pishfuls gets charged by T-Leaf. Oh no. We got a little bit of a battle, coffee versus tea right now, as T-Leaf takes down Vanilla Latte.
Oh no, not Tim falls, but Tim. I'm sorry, I'm gonna compose myself better. But unfortunately, Tim has fallen quite fast in both fights, and because of that, no main tank means no shield for Vanilla Latte. But he has got shatter, so look out for that. But that's a big Para.
Beautiful Deadeye taking down 3, and Lime managing to finish off Reboot.
Come on, man.
Maybe us saying Tim is the player to look out for has put a lot of pressure on the poor guy.
Oh my gosh, I love him. Tim is shatter. Reaper as well. Look out for Reaper. He has got the Blizzard, looking to use it or lose it. That's a beautiful ball as well. But that's a massive anti-native power.
The anti-nade comes out, but Pish does manage to take down T-Leaf. Turret takes out Pish, though, and Lime on the Symmetra getting the kills. That's what we were talking about, them being able to beat the meta by playing off meta, but unfortunately, that point is going to flip, as it looks like Lime does just manage to get away with 84% on the board. Lime's still fighting on point, apparently. Okay.
Tim, you solo shatter that McCree. That's what I like to see. Did you see where Tim was? Tim was behind everybody else while the rest of the team was fighting. He was like, no can do. I'm going to fight, who was it? Hansel on the low ground, solo shattering him, immediately taking him out of the fight there. But T-Leaf is coming back. He's got a shatter of his own. I've got to be extremely careful because they can already on point. Oh, okay. Apara died. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'm back here now. There was really good pathing by T-Leaf. Unfortunately, didn't get the kills. Pish was taken down. The shatter only connected onto Pish, and Pish got the revenge. Hansel does pop a Deadeye, though, and they managed to flip it because of a grab that kept the team just outside of point. Tim falls and Reboot falls quickly after. These DPS are taking names, playing that off meta of Symmetra. Lime is a scary sight to behold right now as T-Leaf finishes off Haynard, and that is going to be probably the point taken down pretty quickly. Pish trying to stall, but no, there is little hope for Tim trying to get on point.
No, Tim was on the high ground trying their best.
Yeah.
There's something, I mean, if Tim's real name is Tim, like, there's something really powerful about, just putting your real name out there. Like, yeah, my name's Tim. You just have to deal with it. Like, yeah,
and okay. Tim is a powerful name as well.
It is. I think that's why I'm like, yes, Tim. Tim on the right heart. Let's go. Unfortunately for Tim, the team couldn't quite, gather around him as effectively here. But you can see that's very off meta what MEOW's deciding to run out with T-Leaf on the ball. But then Lawless Kai on the Orisa, which you really don't see very often here. The Zen and Mercy as well, which you very unlikely to see at the moment. But we can see Tim and his team are running that more meta style where you just want to sort of get in and speed boost in. But yeah, they're sort of just hanging around, which you really don't want to be doing here because Lawless Kai can just pick you off.
Absolutely, and a quick pickup onto Shiro is what we see. A good MEOW, though, is blocking off the team, but Lime and Hansel just getting those picks that you're searching for. Yeah, unfortunately, Pish does just have to reset, and that's going to be a pretty quick cap.
You can see Limes clearly played a lot of Symmetra. Those turrets were in the most annoying spots. Yeah, not all together. They were high enough so that Tim couldn't swing at them, and they're they're everywhere. Anywhere where you pushed, unfortunately, you had those guys slowing you down, and because of that, the team was able just to pick you off.
Ooh.
But here comes T-Leaf just beating his brains out. He's going to wish he got that life back. Fish able to, with a lot of other help from the rest of the members. Also, I've got to point this out. Tim's now not on the run. Opted for a little bit more of an wrist, and here comes a big old shield.
Yeah, the photon barrier comes out. It's going to make it a little bit harder for the team to push up as Pish gets taken down just like that. T-Leaf is returned and taken Pish down. And this Orisa barrier is going to be great for Lime as Lime can just build up charge on the beam from the Orisa barrier. That's what we see Lime do. But a really good kill by Reboot. A good headshot. Rez has to come through from Kim. She manages to bring Lime back. So Lime is going to just throw up a couple more turrets. Get taken down by Reboot again. But now the turrets are just harassing Pish as they try to walk out. Tim now slowly but surely pushing onto point with this Sigma support. A good boulder onto Snuggles. And that's what you want to see. Shiro taking out T-Leaf. And this point is probably going to go the way of Vanilla Latte now. Hansel just harassing the Tim here. Deadeye has to come out to finish off that fight.
Yeah, I mean, Hansel, you take that, really. Yes, you died, but you forced out a huge, no, I was about to say cooldown, but a huge ultimate from Shiro. Now, though, they do still have a couple of ultimates, Vanilla Latte. Or just Tim's team. Tim's team has a lot of ultimates to fall back on now, whereas on the side of MEOW, you know, a couple here and there. You've got the big one of Transcendence, which is going to be huge to turn fights around. And here comes the poking war that we've so sorely missed in the double shield meta.
A good pull means that T-Leaf's slam is able to kind of connect onto a lot of people, but Reboot throws out a Dragon Strike and that connects onto Hansel. Minefield in the wee cubby room there means that actually Zen is split off from the rest of the team here, so Apollo just trying to win the Zen fight and does manage to take down Snuggles. Gravitic Flux from Pish doesn't get it many kills, but it does slow down this fight as Lime is now starting to push through. But Reboot has got aim locked onto Lime's head, and Lime is not enjoying their time right now as Reboot also manages to take down T-Leaf. This fight has gone in the way of Vanilla Latte when it looked like potentially MEOW was going to be able to take it.
Yeah, it does, but Tim stayed alive with Hayden. It was on the high ground with Reboot. Both of them taking not just shots, but also were completely uncontested. You can see the positioning again from him. It's beautiful. They're not contested. You can still heal your team exceptionally well here. And going into this next fight, you're looking really strong with that amplification matrix, which from last fight was really huge. T-Leaf falling does get res though.
Yeah, Kim, she's bringing back T-Leaf, and that's a good call. You know, you want everyone in the fight, and Apollo getting taken down by Hansel. That's a really good early kill. Amplification Matrix and Photon Barrier coming out from either team, either side, trying to keep some form of semblance going on, and Tim falls. But Reboot, the tank sub, is getting kill after kill here, taking down T-Leaf. The point is now going to flip back to MEOW, and that is going to be a sort of final fight territory here now for Vanilla Latte as they opt to throw out Dragon Strike.
They're still fighting though. The fight I might be dead, but my soul lives on. and yet look at that, Reboot able to get Snuggles, and that is a massive pick. Because I don't even think Kim has res at the moment. And that is a fault that had no support.
Oh my gosh!
Go
Supercharger comes out. Apollo pops out the Transcendence. And Tim's aggression right there. That's what we wanted to see. Wow, but you gotta give it to Reboot. Reboot kept that fight alive, and I want to say it once more. This is the tank sub we're talking about.
And Reboot as hitting shots on Hanzo has been critical, taking out both supports really early into that fight, and was only down for Tim to press W at that point and mop up the rest of them with the help of course, the team behind him. But Vanilla Latte, the glue seems to be Tim right now, or I'm making it seem like that. But they're playing exceptionally well together, and especially catching Lime, who can only really play Symmetra. If you can get the sim to be uncomfortable, especially with the one trick, it can just be detrimental here. But Shiro opting, for a sim of their own, which is definitely the smartest option to try and get to point as fast as possible. Very meta sort of comps that we're seeing from both sides. Of course, though, Lime is still on that sim.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tim is first on point here. The team does manage to come and give Tim the support that he needed, but yeah, Tim being on point first meant that they took a lot of damage, and that's going to be good for T-Leaf and Lawless Kai right now as they're playing so aggressively. They've got that point presence and may even get an early point capture, which means this fight is going to be great. Yeah, they get the point capture, and that means all of this fight is just point progress for them, and you gotta love that. Haynard falls to Lime. That beam is a painful thing to behold. Oh, the MEOW blocks the shatter. T-Leaf doesn't get any sort of connection there, and Tim takes out Lime. This is what we want to see from Tim here. Tim getting so aggressive. Pish takes down T-Leaf in the shadow onto Snuggles. We love Tim right now, but Tim is unfortunately taken down. Lawless Kai does manage to get the kill, and Shiro takes down Snuggles. This fight is going to flip back to Vanilla Latte, only 28% for MEOW.
Unfortunate there, MEOW. You did look, capture progress is capture progress at the end of the day there, but Lime couldn't really set up comfortably there with all the turrets that is obviously you need as a sim. I mean, that's where you bring yes, your beam is really good, but the turret seems to be so annoying, especially against the Reinhardt Zarya. But I mean, lots of ults are coming from Vanilla Latte for this next fight here. It's going to be an upward battle.
Ooh. Nano comes out onto T-Leaf and the sound barrier to keep everyone in that grab alive, but the Blizzard is good, and Tim can swing their hammer. Hansel does take down Tim, but I mean, Pish is still alive on the point, trying to build up a little bit more progress as T-Leaf takes them down, and Apollo now just trying to get away.
Damn it, Tim. Tim got a 3k there, but where was the team? Oh no, that was unfortunate there. Vanilla Latte, they did the right thing. They did it, more a proactive ultimate there, but unfortunately there just wasn't much in the way of, I really like this rotation, by the way. They can completely disregard any sim tallies that, you can see them in main. But now it's setting up the McCree on the high ground is going to be so annoying for the rest of them here as they're pushing forward.
Yeah, Shatter connects onto a shield, and the Coalescence is going to keep the team up in the shield, in the grab. Tim pops a beautiful Shatter. Unfortunately, the kills aren't following through just yet. Shiro does take down Lime, however. High Noon coming up. Hansel takes down Haynard, and Lawless Kai has taken down Tim. The fight is a little bit back and forth now. It could be anyone's win here as we see Hansel going on the flank, trying to take down Shiro. Unfortunately, doesn't get the kill and gets found by Pish in the progress. Snuggles taken down by Shiro, but Lime is still in this fight. T-Leaf has returned now, and Tim is not too far behind himself. Tim swinging the hammer onto Lime and T-Leaf, but the damage is real here. Has to fall back. Sound barrier, though, coming up by Haynard means they can get aggressive, and Tim, you get the kill onto Lime. Apollo's Coalescence takes out Kim and Snuggles. That is going to be huge if you are on the side of Vanilla Latte here. Apollo playing that DPS Moira is so well known, and that is the flip back at 98%.
Look, if you were MEOW though, you'd be pretty happy with that fight. Like, both support ults were, unfortunately, might have been a miscommunication perhaps, but both support ults were used at exactly the same time. Like, yeah, you can go, but Apollo got lots of kills, right? Well, his team could have probably gotten that too. You could have just, reversed it completely with a beat. But anyway, here comes the next fight with a photon barrier.
Grab gets thrown out to slow down this push, and Blizzard on the grab just means that everyone freezes up. Tim throws the Shatter out there. Hansel pops a high noon. But yeah, Tim's aggression with that Shatter and the Blizzard, maybe not fully necessary, but you know what? It was beautiful anyway.
Tim Diff. Tim Diff. Love it. And it was crucial, obviously, to win, not just because of the 99%, but you put enough ultimates in there that you still got Apollo is back already with the Coalescence, who's just popped it.
Oh, Hansel though takes down Shiro. The Deadeye does not get any value. T-Leaf Nano, but gets frozen up, so can't get many kills. Hansel though getting the kills that T-Leaf was looking for. T-Leaf now swinging on Tim, and unfortunately T-Leaf a little bit more aggressive, does manage to take down Tim, and Lime finding Haynard jumping around on that point there. The flip goes through, and that is going to be first point going to MEOW.
Well played, MEOW. So they had, I think it was winnable for Vanilla Latte there, but MEOW had the ults. I think what was crucial as well was keeping their Reinhardt alive, keeping those tanks alive here. As we see a high noon pop. I think there was like a 3k here from Hansel. Beautifully played, also helping to take out that Maid there. Lime, of course, as good as we were hoping with that sim tally. And, of course, somehow T-Leaf stayed alive during that entire fight, getting, I think, frozen and slept. And, you know, all the things Reinhardt loves, right? CC.
Yep, that's the one.
Unfortunately, Tim couldn't match that aggression behind the Nano, despite the Coalescence popped, perhaps maybe a little bit too early. But Vanilla Latte were always going to be on that back foot that last fight. They're really only having 2 ultimates, whereas MEOW, they came back fighting with Shatter, and of course the Nano as well, and really mopped up that last fight quite fast, which I think was really crucial to take down Vanilla Latte, because they have that Moira for that sustain and the longer engagements. Apara, where would you go next for Vanilla Latte, knowing that they've got Tim?
Well, if we're playing purely on Tim factor, we've only seen Tim on Reinhardt right now, so we're not 100% sure the Winston capabilities, but I mean, if Tim is confident in Winston, maybe we take it to Numbani, but if Tim is that Reinhardt player, probably running through with Eichenwald here, but it's really hard to make a good map call considering subs exist, because you can make a map call and then they can completely change it up, but it does look like they're wanting to run Numbani, so maybe Tim does really like that Winston pick. Maybe we'll see a bit of Monkey, and maybe it's Tim the Monkey that we really got to respect.
Maybe he just needs to unga bunga a little bit more. Oh my gosh. I know, if they subbed him, whoever the manager is, I think it's CH, if you subbed him out, I will riot. Do not sub this guy out. The fans clearly love him, aka me. I'm his biggest fan right now. Vanilla Latte, I think, look, we haven't seen much from both teams just yet. I think Lime will actually do pretty well, honestly, on hang on.
Lime would do well if they weren't subbed out.
Which I think is probably the correct play here. Tim is quite hard with all the the high ground and stuff like that. And I think this is going to be a really exciting matchup here, Apara, because whatever maps get picked, they have enough players to swap in and out of who works best for the more divey or the more brawly sort of map comps there. And so we had a little bit of a Sabataku is now in for Lime instead. Possibly maybe plays a little bit of that Genji perhaps. Or a bit more divey, because Numbani, it's dive really. Unless you're on defense, you can kind of get away with a little bit of a poke. We have seen Tim pull out the Orisa, I mean T-Leaf as well, of course, but expect some Winston, probably double bubble, honestly, followed by we saw a little bit of May, but possibly might see a bit of Ash, still see a Kree. But we never know from these players what they'll pull out next, simply because of their deep player picks and variety.
Oh, absolutely right. It's another sub just to make known. Kim Kim has swapped out for Tipsy, so the supports have swapped up there a bit. We saw Kim Kim run a little bit of the Mercy, and I believe it was Anna as well. So we'll see how that support swap up makes a little bit of difference as we move into Nimbani here. Meanwhile, I believe it looks like Vanilla Latte running mostly the same team. I don't see any swaps, but my brain also could just be making me think that everyone's around because I just like to talk about Tim a lot, so...
No, Tim is mine. No, we can both have dual chat Tim. On attack though, sorry, let's start with the defense team because they can, the attack can always switch. Tea Leaf is double bubble. And then we've got Ataku running the Echo, possibly to dive in with Tea Leaf, help him create that space that will be much needed. And of course, you've got Tipsy on the Mercy, which will always help out any Echo or Pharah. And then obviously just be able to fly around to Tea Leaf and peel for Snuggles as well. Snuggles can just sit rear up. Snuggles is not where usual Ana would sit, but perhaps trying to get a couple of anti-nades on the attack, which you'll need to stop the man that we know is Tim, who's running the Reinhardt, who's this is where you want to go. You just want to bring it to the man and just speed right in.
And that's what we're seeing. The MEOW comes out. Tea Leaf does manage to just jump across, but Tipsy, she's trying to stay alive, manages to fly away, and oh my gosh, so much aggression onto Tea Leaf right now. Tea Leaf struggling, and Tim finds Snuggles. That positioning was probably not preferred being the Ana. You do like to sit up on that top ground there, but unfortunately Shiro takes out Hansel. Tipsy, she's trying to get the res, manages to bring back Tea Leaf. Tea Leaf is back into this fight here, and you love to see it. Lawless Kai stalling it out, but I think this fight is almost over as Tea Leaf gets taken down, and you want to fall back if you're Ataku right now.
Exactly. Unfortunately, the dive didn't quite work out for Tea Leaf, who's immediately opted out for the Reinhardt. I think the heals were just too much. I mean, you can see Apollo already has the Coalescence built up, and Tim as well was in that fight pretty fast, able to swing as much as possible, and he already has Shatter here. Coming to this next fight, it's just Brawl v Brawl, which I think really suits Vanilla Latte because of how much ults they have, and here comes the Coalescence. Just to be aggressive, but Ataku pops that duplication, but unfortunately the rest of the team is falling. The Shatter gets blocked by a shield, so Ataku's duplicated Shatter doesn't really connect onto much. The charge, a second Shatter onto Reboot, but Reboot does manage to get into the ice block just on time so that they don't get taken out, and now Ataku going back to first point here. Just having a bit of a reminiscence of earlier times. Exactly, and you can see the space made by the team of Vanilla Latte. They can hold so far up. They do have to back off a little bit, but car progression is there. And here's a Blizzard.
Blizzard into a Tim Shatter. You love to see it. Follows into 2 kills, but Otaku in the background does manage to focusing beam down Apollo. But now Otaku and Hansel have to jump onto the point with Tipsy on that Lucio for support there. The right clicks, the fan, the hammers aren't getting the kills that you need, but Shiro on the other hand is. Grab comes out to just make sure that anyone comes through is easily killed, and that's going to be second point captured with 5 minutes 20.
My goodness, Vanilla Latte. MEOW, they have got ultimates though, we can't forget that. Ataku actually has swapped to the Reaper, possibly to try and just stop Tim. And aggression is shown by the team. I mean, who can forget Pish as well, helping Tim to be that aggressive with the bubbles as they're looking to pop High Noon here, trying to take out the barrier as fast as possible, maybe get a couple of kills like Tea Leaf.
There it is. Hansel pops their own High Noon. Both Reinhardt's taken down by the Deadeyes there. Out comes a grab, connects onto 3, but the MEOW means that you can't get the damage you want. Otaku now pushing in aggressively with that Reaper, taking out Shiro. And Otaku now taking out Reboot as well. Pish and Apollo just having to run away from this Lucio Reaper duo at the moment. But Tim is back and Tipsy's been taken down. Otaku still fighting this off against Pish.
Yeah, and Pish survived. No, sorry, Pish didn't survive. My apologies, but Tim came back, was able to build up a little bit of his ultimate. And now coming to this next fight, there's not too much of a Reinhardt detriment in terms of shatters, but Otaku, look out for him. He's in the back line. He's looking for a cheeky... no, he's not. Sorry, that was a McCree. But he's still looking for that Death Blossom. And here comes the Nano onto him.
Oh, the Nano Death Blossom. It only oh no, there it is. Reboot as well taken down. But Tim popped a really good shield to block Tea Leaf Shatter. Unfortunately, there was so much damage that Otaku's Death Blossom could just burn through the remainder of the shield and take out Tim and then follow up onto Reboot, which looks like Reboot has lagged out here.
He was walking into the wall.
So I guess we're going to see a little bit of a reboot for Reboot. I'm sorry.
That was a good one.
I'll give you that one. Thank you. I'll take that.
I'll take that. I mean, they have so many subs. Do you just sub in a player at this point? Look, okay. I think this was well played by MEOW. They do have quite a hold, but in front of them on the defense. But point C, Numbani is just aggressively hard to take. Yeah. Especially with ultimates being able to come up so quickly. Unfortunately, Tea Leaf's Shadow was wasted. I guess wasted. I mean, he tried to use it, but Tim was able to block it. But because of that, there was so much damage onto Tim's shield that it fell, and eventually that. The Ana nano boosting the death block, and there was basically no hope left there. Shiro couldn't even get close enough to stun in time, really. But Reboot, hopefully he's coming back soon. Vanilla Latte, they've got Apollo's Coalescence to push into, but Tipsy can always just beat and possibly try and move Tea Leaf in a little bit more aggressively, especially with Otaku on the Reaper. And you got to get really quick fights here, because with this current comp, Vanilla Latte will always beat you out, because in the end they'll get Coalescence.
Oh, absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, you got to try and shut down Tim's Shatter as much as possible, like you said, so that sound barrier could come in handy if used correctly and not caught in the Shatter itself. But Coalescence will keep this fight alive. So even if Tim's Shatter doesn't get much value, the Coalescence is gonna bring it through, as we'll see. Just probably quite a long team fight, I would think, unless something amazing comes out. Unfortunately for Reboot, with the DC, does mean that any ult charge that was there for May is now gone, so any hope for a Blizzard is reset all the way back to 0. But since Death... And unfortunately, Reboot was at 74% as well on that ultimate, so that's going to be painful to lose.
Hurt. Yeah, that's going to hurt to lose that sort of Blizzard, especially with, Pish coming up with Rav. They were basically side by side ultimate wise, and you'd be able to just chuck in the Blizzard, and that's a fight win, really. Tipsy would have to sound barrier pretty early and just pray to Lord Jeff that everybody survives through the barrier. But yeah, Snuggles, they can still make plays. Get the reason you take an Ana is, Ana's got to be the playmaker of the group. You've got to get the anti. So not seeing too much just yet, but it is still early days on point C. And, if you get an anti into any one, 2 members of the team, that will force Bubbles out very quickly from Lawless Kai. Very quickly from Tim. How could I forget Tim? My apologies, Tim. Twit longer to Tim specifically. Yeah. And that, Pish would have to use the bubbles way too early than he'd want to, and because of that, perhaps force out cooldowns, like Pish's, earlier than they expect. And I think again and again, if you can just land those antis and annoy that bejeebus out of Vanilla Latte, perhaps they might have to change tact, or at the very least, it's just burning time off the clock. Because if you land a fat anti, it's like 30 seconds you've bought yourself. And at that point, time, like a good resource is just time waste for your enemy team that you're versing. So the reason you take a Moira is purely healing. You can't make a great play as Moira unless it's Coalescence, whereas when you take an Ana, you you can't get as much group healing when you're all grouped up. But man, every 8 to 10 seconds, you've got massive playmakers on cooldown.
Yeah, definitely. I think you hit the nail right on the head there with 2 really quick pushes. The major thing that MEOW is looking for right now is that time management. So using those abilities correctly is going to be super key right now. And I mean, with a Lucio speed boosting Tim, they can get aggressive quickly. They can push in quickly. So you have to be really on point with your abilities, on point with even just things like McCree stuns and bubbles to keep the team up. It's going to be a little bit of a long haul for MEOW as they're going to try this defense, but it is definitely possible. It's Numbani 3rd point. You can hold for quite a long time, especially if you use the chokes correctly.
Sorry, I was having a hydration break. Yes.
Oh, you deserve it.
Yeah, and I completely agree. It's all about cooldowns for the defense, whereas if you're attacked, you can basically just hit your head against a brick wall until the bricks just move for you.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Absolutely.
Whereas, the defense, their cooldowns could mean, the loss of a map. Man, Reboot is not very good at rebooting their PC.
As you say that, though, they are now back.
They cast a blessing.
Oh,
thank you, upon Reboot, and his computer is once again alive.
Yeah, so now we should be jumping into this any moment now. Another just interesting thing will be how aggressive currently we see MEOW. I mean, we've got Zarya, we've got Reinhardt, and we've got Reaper all pretty much ready up to the front line here. So we could see a continued form of aggression to finish off any stragglers, or they might fall back. And it looks like they are both opting to just sort of reset and catch back up.
And reboot. Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Reset, reboot. Do you try and make this the fight to win, sorry, or do you just try and get Reboot's ultimate, up a little bit now that he's back?
I think you just try and get the ultimate up. We do see the Coalescence committed, and a good stun makes it a little bit harder for them to push up, but T-Leaf's taken down through that Coalescence, and they're able to jump down onto point. Shatter connects onto Lawless Kai, and Shiro takes down Hansel. In the progress of that, Otaku trying to hide behind the payload, but does get found by Pish. Lucio as well. Tipsy, she's jumping around, but unfortunately gets taken down by Shiro. Shiro knows how to finish off those sort of straggled kills. A good MEOW at spawn means that T-Leaf is going to get frozen up and taken down by Reboot here, and Hansel's Deadeye doesn't connect onto anything. These staggered kills are exactly what you want, and I guess I said you don't want to win the fight, but they are going to anyway. A grab onto the MEOW means that no one's going to be able to jump onto point very well as it continues to roll through. Tipsy now on this Moira, and Snuggles jumping onto the Lucio. Snuggles is stalling it out there, but T-Leaf taken down by Tim, and that is the final kill to roll it through 3rd point.
Wow, that was beautifully played. Reboot also just about to get Blizzard on that last bit. That's not important. What was important was, everyone might be asking, I don't know if anyone saw this, like, where the heck did Tipsy's beat go? Where did the sound barrier go? They altered, and unfortunately when they altered, it was behind a corner, so nobody else but Tipsy got the massive amount of shields that obviously comes out of that defensive ult. So they couldn't turn the fight around with more the health and the aggression that they could have possibly put on. But, because of that, Tim was just able to push up, of course, with Reboot, and Shiro as well, and Pish just had their own little adventure on cart. They had to take out both DPS and also a Lucio, which they did so brilliantly. It took a little while. There was a little ring of rosy around the cart, but eventually was shut down. And because of that, the cart just eventually glided forward, and now you can Reboot opting for a little bit of a different switch here off the Mei, off the freeze and the walls, instead looking for the hacks, possibly to try and just hack T-Leaf, make sure when they dive in that they don't have an easy time, jumping back out. As I say that,
Yeah.
switches off the May. Okay, a little bit.
When you think defense is the one that won't change.
Oh, yeah, right? Oh, my goodness. Anyway, scratch all that. Erase 30 seconds of my casting. A poly for the Zen. I think that your Discord Orbs, you want that on the defense, especially with Shiro being able to pick people off, and you need it against Ataku. Ataku, if left untreated, will just destroy you back.
Absolutely, and this dive up into high ground means that Tipsy actually gets taken down by Shiro, because Shiro is running on the other side of the point there. Hansel does manage to get the headshot, but Apollo's taking down Tea Leaf, so that fight is pretty much over, Hansel. You may as well go back.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sportsmanship in the chat. What is this? This is not my Overwatch that I'm used to. There was a little nice shot from Shiro. Hit scan, respect hit scan. I love it. Great first defense there. Tim clearly with the superior positioning. Unfortunately for Tea Leaf, just tried to get up this choke. But yeah, you can just meet them right then and there. There will be a little bit of a change of positioning here, and Tim's just in. I don't know who he was trying to get there, but able to give Hayden a really good ultimate charge towards Nano, and that is a beautiful shot onto Shiro again. Oh, Apara's dead. Okay.
Sorry, I'm back again. Thank you for telling me. Otaku getting the kill, and then Hansel taking out Reboot. I mean, Hansel just got headshot after headshot, and that was really good. And then it was split fights is really what was going on there.
Yeah. And unfortunately, they were the support ults. Look how close in percentage they were. They needed maybe 3 more seconds, a couple more dinks from Apollo, and that fight could... Oh my gosh.
Hansel!
There's no more nice shots coming out now. I wonder if it's worth switching to the Widow. Oh no, nice shot again. Everything I say gets completely reversed. Anyway.
The caster cursing the chat right now.
I was about to say, is it worth switching off to the Widow? Here comes Double Monkey though. This is some trouble.
Double Monkey, and that duplicated Primal Rage in the sort of top ground means that you can push them into beautiful corners there. The duplicate does get taken down, and Apollo now with the nice shots, taking out Tipsy, taking out Otaku. That means they can jump onto the payload pushers here. Yeah, Tim and Pish getting aggressive on this payload, and respectively so, the team falls back. MEOW having to fall back. Shiro pops that Deadeye just to push anyone a little bit further back, and the Primal Rage taking out Hansel. Tea Leaf taken down. That is a good win there.
I think Tea Leaf went back to Horizon Lunar Colony. Oh my gosh, I love Winston's ragdoll. Changed my mind. It's my favorite, honestly, because for some reason, whenever you kill him, he sort of starfishes and rotates really fast off the map. Anyway, yeah, really well played there. Definitely winnable, and also
Nano
is really hard on Mbani. Oh no, never
that Nano on Tea Leaf was just perfect. Throwing the Primal Rage out now too, chasing down Haynard so low in that HP, and Hansel another good headshot. That's exactly what you want to see.
That's exactly what you want to see. Straights as well. It is notoriously hard for defenders unless you're set up, which you kind of were, but unfortunately you can't even contest this. Tim had to go on the ball, but unfortunately just couldn't roll fast enough onto that objective there. Probably will switch back to the Reinhardt, who's a bit more favored on that third point defense. No, he will stick on ball. Okay, he'll stick on ball. You really want to try and dive the backline here with the ball, especially when you get these bubbles as well, and that's not gonna help.
Hansel! Another duplicate comes out from Otaku onto May this time, and it does mean that they managed to stay alive in the Graviton Surge that came out from Pish. Shiro now taking out Tea Leaf, and with Tim just rolling around on payload, it means that this payload isn't pushing as far as they want it to be, and it means that Pish now can push up. A really good kill onto Tea Leaf has stopped that whole fight.
Yeah, I know. That was really well played there, especially because the Ana duplicate came out, and it was the Echo duplicate came out, and unfortunately for MEOW, they just couldn't get enough. purchased onto the payload and purchased onto the enemy team as well, staying alive. They didn't even have to use any support ults. This could be a huge high noon, but unfortunately the Reinhardt barrier will probably just block it out as Hansel's trying to get another headshot, but Tim gets just burnt in the backline.
The focusing beam does so much damage as it burns through, and Hansel, another kill onto Haynard. Hansel is taking names tonight on this Widow. You love to see it. And now T-Leaf can start getting aggressive. We've got to watch out for another headshot from Hansel. I'm sure it'll come through shortly. Taku getting in with that focusing beam, taking down Reboot, and a duplication onto Zarya means that Pish is just going to get mobbed from all angles, and Slept as well. But T-Leaf is actually the one to fall. Tipsy, she's going to bring back T-Leaf there now. And Hansel getting harassed by the Wrecking Ball, but manages to get 2 kills in the process here. And they managed to cap with just 12 seconds less into the time bank.
That was exceptionally well played there.
Yeah.
I thought surely MEOW would have the lower time, but somehow they're able to pull themselves together and got some crucial picks. Hansel always seems to be able to open up the fight for his team, and because of that, the Ana fell, and you lose your Ana, especially when they've got Nano in their back pocket as well. It's just curtains at that point. And excuse me, Apollo was forced out with Trance, but nothing really came out of it. Tim, oh my goodness, I got the hiccups. Tim, best time to have the hiccups. Tim did stay on that ball, but perhaps that really wasn't the best play because unfortunately couldn't get enough value. And even when they did have Minefield, tried to drop it on cart, but it was behind the cart, and they weren't exactly, trying to retreat. MEOW. So yeah, look, they're on the defense again. Tim's back on the monkey and hoping to make a little bit more of a purchase onto this defense. If you can hold it for, even if you lose it 30 seconds, you've got to hold first point for quite some time, because Streets phase is a shocker for the defenders unless you have the time to position. The reason why is because if there's any stragglers at all, they spawn so far back. I still don't know why Blizzard hasn't created a spawn for these guys, but you spawn so incredibly far back, you have no chance of recontesting, at least very quickly, so you have to automatically fall back to almost where point B can be captured. Anyway, on the attack, the double bubble trouble from the defenders, whereas a little bit more of the diva dive.
Yeah, I mean, they're continuing to run this Hansel, trying to find a pick and getting some good headshots onto Pish, but Otaku getting a really good kill onto Shiro and taking out Reboot in the process. Haynard now taken down off that high ground, and it's looking really good right now for your MEOW. You're probably going to be able to capture this first point nice and quickly, and Hansel didn't even need to do a lot of that work. Hansel was getting the shots, but not really needing to get the kills.
No, immediately T-Leaf and Lawless Kai were just on top of everybody. I do like this switch though. You've got to switch on to characters that can survive being dived, especially, ones like your Baptiste and of course your Apollo switching off to the Brig. All you need to do, if you were Vanilla Latte, is regroup. You've got some ultimates coming up-ish. You're about halfway through. T-Leaf has had to switch to the Reinhardt, so you have... Oh, no! As I say there, Reboot falls. That is not the pick that you want right now. Hansel's on the high ground. He's just going to have free reign over the team.
Absolutely right. Hansel looking for those heads and finding Shiro right now. Shiro managing to just move left and right, but Infrasights comes out, and the Shatter, that duplicated Shatter, doesn't really get too much value, but it's putting the pressure, meaning that T-Leaf can get that kill onto Apollo back in the back room. Hayden now taken down from Hansel, but Shiro responds. The res is going to come through. Tipsy brings back Hansel, and now there's a Doomfist to harass this Widowmaker, and I like that call, but Otaku getting 2 kills, focusing beam and sticky bombs, and just at the last second they do manage to capture this point, but they're in overtime now. They can't step off.
They really can't. Okay, now they're coming up to quite a few ultimates. Vanilla Latte. It is definitely winnable here, but unfortunately, Otaku is just popping off right now. Otaku as well with that, the square or not defense matrix. Oh my gosh, come on, what is it? Amplification matrix. It will be popped, and it will be huge.
There it is. And a good sticky bombs as well. A huge fire strike and sticky bombs. So much damage through the amplification matrix there. Scary, scary stuff. And now T-Leaf can get aggressive onto Tim here. Shiro pops the high noon, takes down Otaku, but getting the res off, unfortunately didn't manage to it. T-Leaf gets the responsive shatter. Tim tried to get the early shatter, but T-Leaf does fall to Pish. Grab comes out, connects onto Snuggles, that gets taken out, and now, oh, no one could touch. So that means that is where the payload will stop.
Okay, Tim.
Yeah.
I don't know how you lived. Proxy supports.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Tim tried to shatter, but was met with a shield and then got shattered himself. But Tim stayed alive long enough to still be a nuisance on the cart. Pish as well. Beautiful bubbles, as well as taking down a couple of members. But right now, in overtime, getting as far as MEOW did is super duper impressive to me. Hansel as well being pocketed quite hard by Tipsy, and it's working a treat because Hansel's just been able to hit those shots. Well, let's see if he can hit those shots instead of the Widow. Ooh. We've got the double Sky, which will have Shiro's work cut out for them, and I wonder if Reboot would opt for a little bit more of a switch. Because, it's going to be quite hard unless you can take out T-Leaf quite early into the fight. If at any point it gets extended past, maybe 30 to 40 seconds is even pushing it. You got Snuggles will be able to keep the team alive. And at that point, there'll be just too much damage from the Sky happening here. Take that high ground. Try and get T-Leaf off. But right now, MEOW, its comp is looking really, really strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Having those rockets and sticky bombs coming from the sky, it's going to be scary stuff. Mercy won't know which bird to pocket here today, but I mean, I think it doesn't really matter. I like the pathing that they're opting to take, going through this high ground. It looks like Echo's going to try and go meet them from behind, and the May wall is good. It's going to put a lot of pressure onto T-Leaf, and did exactly what you said. Push T-Leaf off that high ground. Otaku, though, in the background, taking out two with the focusing beam, and the res brings Hansel back as well. Shiro taking Hansel out straight away, resed into death pretty much, and I mean, this fight, you probably do want to slow it down a little bit. That's what they're opting to do. Tim just swinging around, waiting for the other two players to return. Pish and Reboot nearly back here. They're gonna want to push in very shortly, but there's so much pressure coming through.
Yeah, Apara Hansel already has Barrage.
Oh, there it is.
Pops it.
Yeah, Hansel throws that barrage out, takes out Pish, and Pish does manage to get T-Leaf out before death. Hansel though taking out Haynard, and Tim shattering on the point, charges into Snuggles there. Lawless Kai split off, and there is a duplicate coming out by Otaku onto the May. Maybe a little bit of desperation, but the Blizzard is good, and that means that T-Leaf can come back. Reboot's gonna freeze up there. Unfortunately, no kills come from the Blizzard, but it means that T-Leaf can return in this fight. The fight is not over, but maybe it should have been Tipsy and Otaku now having to just run away as point flips.
I'm actually really surprised MEOW got it in the comp that they're playing, to be honest. Like, Double Sky is brutal. Shiro is popping off on the hit scan, immediately shutting down Hansel. I'm surprised that they're still sticking with it. This is where hit scans really shine in this point here. So it's going to be quite hard. 15 seconds remaining, though, to push the cart all the way. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it is in overtime as well. And there's quite a number of ults coming out. You got T-Leaf Shatter to look forward to.
Yeah, Valkyrie and Amplification Matrix come out from both supports. Sticky Bombs managed to take out Tim, though, and that's going to be crucial. The Rocket Barrage comes out from Hansel. Where did it come from? Hansel built up so much ult charge so quickly, and the grab into a Polo and Reboot can't survive through that, as it is now just Haynard trying to stall it out. Tim tries to get back on the Wrecking Ball, and it's going to be short-lived, as MEOW managed to defend that.
Well played, MEOW.
Yeah.
I think the double Sky there was just a little bit too much. Unfortunately, Shiro couldn't quite get enough value on the high noon. I mean, yeah, he didn't get any, but I think if maybe the fight engaged just a little bit more, and then he high noon to really put, Hansel into a bad spot there. But because, Shiro gave up that ultimate so quickly, it just allowed so much room for Otaku
Yeah.
to shine, as well as Hansel. Of course, we can see the amount of damage that both those teams did. Also, very well played from Tea Leaf there.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That was a mad amount of damage coming out from Otaku, as we're now moving into what could potentially be our third and final map, as MEOW is up 2 right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what map Vanilla Latte want to run, whether it's Volskaya or Anubis. Anubis, of course, you can run things like Junkrat, you can get a little bit more damage being pumped through. Meanwhile, Volskaya, there's a lot more sort of options in terms of jumping onto high ground with a bit of a dive comp, or you could continue to run that classic sort of brawl. There's a lot of options going on here, Pap.
There's a lot of options, especially if you put in Lime again.
Yeah.
You could almost do Volsky Industries with Lime, because you've got that really annoying choke that you can hold extremely close, especially when you've got, like an Orisa or something like that. So maybe expect a Lime switch in, but right now Otaku and Hansel are looking so strong together. Hansel clearly has shown a very deep pool of not just hit scan, but also flex as well, which you don't see very often. Usually you see teams go back and forth a little bit. We have had a switch of KE9 now coming in for Vanilla Latte. Who I think we saw yesterday. KE9 pulled out the Tracer. He did a pretty good job, so we'll see if he can make it happen again here. We're still waiting on what map wants to be picked right now. But yeah, MEOW looking really, really strong. Unfortunately, Vanilla Latte just can't meet them with the same aggression, or at the very least, the double sky is just a bit too much. Perhaps the Mei could have been swapped out a little bit, and here comes Lime. Lime has been subbed back in. Interestingly, though, Temple of Anubis, although it is Vanilla Latte's pick, perhaps Lime won't get as much value on Temple of Anubis, because, especially first point, there are places you can definitely put your what do they call your turrets?
Teleporter and turrets.
Your telly and your turrets, but I don't think it's as enclosed as possibly MEOW would want it to be. But Lawless Kai, and I think we also have another Saturn's Bars, or was he always there? And
Saturn's Bars swapped out for Tea Leaf. Yeah,
there we go. I thought so. So Saturn perhaps switched out just to get him in, have some fun on the Reinhardt, or maybe they're looking for a little bit more of a poke comp, because we haven't seen much Orisa just yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. It'll be interesting to see what Saturn's Bar is opting to run for. And then, of course, with the KE9 swap in for that DPS reboot, either swapping out just because it was time, or maybe those internet issues just making it a little bit unreliable here. So we'll see what these swaps are going to bring through. But yeah, I'm a little bit unsure about this Symmetra pick, as you said. It's a little bit interesting. We do see Lawless Kai opting for the Orisa. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Look, a sim will pretty much always work around a good team on defense. The more interesting thing for me would be how will they utilize it on attack? Not to say that they can't. Like, I'm thinking teleporter spots here. Like, do they tele top right? Do they tele directly to the point? Or do they go a little bit more forward and tele to the top left, where you usually see like a Widow? To force Vanilla Latte into, an unfavorable position that they're not really used to. Look, Tim's still in, so it's still winnable for Vanilla Latte.
They have their win condition.
They have their win condition, and that win condition starts with a T, and that T is Tim. Shiro! Oh my gosh, you don't see that very often. Unfortunately, it was dressed up though.
Yeah, now Hansel's gonna look for that revenge, trying to get a couple of picks, but the MEOW blocks off any sights for Hansel here as well. And it means that the team, Vanilla Latte, they can actually push in pretty far. They're already over the bridge and jumping onto point here. MEOW doesn't block off much, but gives them point progress here, as Tim is jumping right onto Kim, and Kim is taken down from the pure aggression of Tim right there. I think we do need to rename Win to Tim, because Tim just gave them that.
Oh my gosh, Tim had I called the Orisa.
Yeah.
The Orisa, and obviously Saturn was brought in for that Sigma, but unfortunately the potions were not strong enough, despite there was actually a beautiful anti-nade there from Kim, but it wasn't quite enough to shut down the aggression that we saw from Tim. I was about to call him Tim. But you can see, yeah, they're already on point B. They're already looking for that shatter. K9 as well, hoping to get Blizzard as fast as possible here, but here comes the Coalescence.
Coalescence comes out, responded with the photon barrier from Lime here, but the Coalescence is just going to keep people up. Hayden does get taken down by a stray turret, but Tim's Shatter comes through, takes out Kim, takes out Lime. Shiro finishes off Hanzo, and Tipsy, she's just going for that desperation res, but that was such quick kills. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to get the touch. We're going to see Saturn's Bars just try to get on, and does manage to in the nick of time, but Kim and Lime fall just as quickly. Hanzo now throws himself onto point, but doesn't get any kills. Blizzard now to bully Lawless Kai, and that's going to be capped right about there.
4 minutes and 59 seconds. None of you guys heard that, but I was off camera going, Tim. He was getting kills after kills. Right there. No caster bias, I swear. I almost fall off my chair. Oh, yeah, as soon as Vanilla Latte got onto that point, they just, on both occasions, they just did not relinquish it. It took them a little while, but you can see that it clearly worked because, I mean, look, they got it so fast. They got 5 minutes remaining. So coming into here, this is where you want to watch Lime. You want to watch the pathing of where they go and what they decide to do. They could try to, you know, double shield to the high ground, which I think they possibly might do because, you know, at that point, yeah, they've got to come to you. It looks like they want to brawl instead. Hansel, interestingly enough, the Ashe, I'd expect, you know, if you want to go to the point or something like that, you want to take a McCree or something a little bit more closer.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Maybe just trying to get a lot of damage out of the dynamites, something like that. You can kind of coach gun yourself up onto that bridge. It'll be interesting to see why the Ashe pick came out, but I mean, whatever it is, it's probably got some kind of strategy to it here. Lawless Kai and Saturn's Bar opting for that Ryan Zarya, as you were saying, a little bit of brawl to just push straight to point, and you're going to want to match this aggression. I think a little bit of the reason they couldn't take it last time was just pure team composition difference. So hopefully now matching the tanks will bring them a little bit more value. The teleporter taking them straight through without getting any damage, straight into the second room here, setting up turrets so that if Tim or Pish tries to walk through, they're not going to be able to do it without a lot of pain going on. And Lawless Kai pushing in because of a really good anti-nade. KE9 taken down early from Saturn's Bar, and a dynamite gets thrown out here. We are seeing a little bit of just a slow, staggered fight, and that's the kind of fight you want to be having if you're the attacking team. Shatter already from Tim gets blocked by Lawless Kai, unfortunately, and Saturn's Bars takes down Tim in the progress. Lime finishes off Pish there, and that's going to be pretty much a just as fast push.
Yeah, that was extremely fast. If you looked at Tim's ult charge there, he got ult off like 2 fire strikes.
Yeah.
It was insane, but unfortunately the win condition of Tim was not able to pull through as he shattered directly into a shield of Lawless Kai. They will be pushing in quite aggressively here. They don't have many ults, but they do have an important ult of the Ana Nano, especially using, you know, the Sim shield will be absolutely devastating to somebody like Shiro, who's just trying to get as many picks as possible. You can see this cheeky teleport at the top right.
And there's the photon barrier as well. Coalescence comes out to try keep the team up and running, as well as a sound barrier from Tipsy there. Tim having to just keep the shield up to hide from Bob, and Hanzo and Lion taking out both DPS players. Pish jumps onto the point, and now Tim pushing Bob away, but unfortunately gets shattered by Lawless Kai there. And now it is just Lucio jumping around on that high ground, trying to stall it out so the rest of the team can come back. Shiro on this Doomfist, but Hansel gets a good dynamite onto 3 and takes out Hained in the progress. Shiro does punch Tipsy into the afterlife, and the nano onto Lawless Kai is going to be scary for the defensive team. grab on both sides means that Pish is going to be taken out, but this is the stagger that you typically see on a 2CP of just trying to stagger out to build that time bank down and down. And I mean, maybe we can even see a 2CP hold here as Shiro's back now, and so is Tim. Saturn Bars making sure they cannot win this. Sound barrier comes out from Haynard, and actually Haynard is going to be the savior for Vanilla Latte. Sound barrier and aggression.
That was amazing from Vanilla Latte. They had the little stalls, and Hayden came back, and that was the win condition in the end. Taking out the Ana that was very, like, just sitting on the high ground, uncontested, just healing the entire team. Now they have to come back. They've pretty much got exactly the same ults as the first fight, so it's basically round 2 Electric Boogaloo. Let's see what happens that's different.
Yeah, exact same strat onto that high ground. Apollo pops that coalescence once again. Out comes the bomb. We're seeing it's a timeless strategy, exactly the same. Shatter from Lawless Kai. Unfortunately, Saturn Bars was taken out early this time, and the charge onto Lawless Kai means that Haynard can get that kill. Lime pops the photon barrier, but this fight might already be over, unfortunately. Lime trying to build up charge on the beam, but gets taken down by Pish, and yeah, this fight is pretty much over here as Tipsy is just trying to get away.
That was exactly the same ultimate as the last one. Unfortunately, it just did not work quite as well as the first time. This will be a completely different. Hansel is now swapped onto that McCree, possibly just trying to get, matching Shiro's aggression. Also, you can always stun above the Reinhardt barrier, which Tim has done exceptionally well of keeping it actually alive. Since the barrier nerfs, it's almost a game of who's got better barrier management. Oh my gosh!
There we go.
And it has been Tim so far. Coming into the next fight, Apollo again almost has coalescence here. This is why you take a Moira in this sort of scenario. You can get her ultimate exceptionally fast. And so, Tim's just holding that choke. K9 on the Junkrat, which is interesting. So just trying to land as much nades, as much damage as possible.
And so much damage onto Lawless Kai. Yeah, big anti comes out, and oh my gosh, they're able to use that. Hansel gets nanoed, and just so much aggression here. We do see Kim still in this background managing to find KE9, and is that going to be the flip? No, Tim is on the wrecking ball. I'm now calling Tim as well. Saturn Bars gets grabbed, and oh my gosh, they come back again, and they manage to hold it again with 2 ticks this time and 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, now it's under the 2-minute barrier as well, so this is not for nothing now, because even if they did lose the second fight, it'd still go down to 2 minutes, but now we're ticking under 2. So by the time they get back, it'll be about 1 minute and 20 seconds. If they lose this one's final fight territory, and that is possible. Tim, for about the 50th time, has switched back to the Reinhardt. And KE9, they've got quite an uphill battle if you're MEOW. You've got to battle the Junkrat tire. Tipsy, though, does have the beat, so look out for that as the photon barrier splits the point down the middle.
Yeah, Photon Barrier comes out to keep this team alive as they push in. The Riptide's coming out, trying to find somebody to kill, and unfortunately it only takes down one of Tipsy, but that could be good if you're the defensive team, because 1 kill means that they're going to take a while to come back. Hansel does manage to get into Tim's face and fans the hammer them down. Lawless Kai with the nano as well manages to finish off Haynard. It's just 1 tick that you need. Someone needs to jump on, and Pish does jump on. The grab jumps onto 3 players, but Pish on point means that point progress is not going up, and now with Tim trying to roll around, but those turrets are causing a lot of pain. Haynard now stalling on that high ground again, and this is Haynard's game. Haynard has been doing this consistently, and they haven't been able to find a good way to deal with it. That means that Apollo and Shiro are now back. The bubble onto Shiro means that he gets the kill onto Lime, and now we've got Pish back as well. Hansel does take out KE9, but Tim on the wrecking ball has returned. The stagger plays are just so big, and Shiro gets 2 with the Deadeye. This high noon is absolutely mad. Lawless Kai trying to survive right now, but gets taken down, and Saturn's bar is all that's left. Kim as well. No one is left on this point. Tim is just going to jump up to try and stop anyone approaching, and that is actually going to be a hold by Vanilla Latte. Wow. What great defensive plays.
That deserves a GM if you've ever seen one there. words don't describe it was just incredible. Vanilla Latte. They were down like 4 times. There, they were able to, like you said, they had the Lucio, they had, Tim on the board. We just saw there. But it was never over. I think that's what was just remarkable to me.
Yeah.
The constant staggers and the skill of staying alive. At one point, the Lucio, even though they had, 3 members focusing them down on with beams of all things, stayed alive long enough for Tim to get back into the fight and for Shiro to pop a high noon. It was absolutely enormous plays from Vanilla Latte there, able to tip the fight back in their favor. It was so exciting to watch. That match was insane. That was probably the most fun I've ever had on Temple Maneuvers because I was like, okay, so the first portion I was like, oh no, it's 5 minutes versus 5 minutes. Here we go again. We're back with 5v5 men. But no, Vanilla Latte held on each time. Each time an ultimate came out from Vanilla Latte, it was like, oh, what? They're still going. MEOW just couldn't shut them down fast enough, unfortunately, despite the amazing ultimates from MEOW. Like, Lime's projectile barrier came out so quickly, and effectively each time, splitting everyone down the middle, but somehow Vanilla Latte stayed alive, or at least, one of the members did, because even when it looked bad for them, Vanilla Latte stayed. Can I point out something, Apara?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you look on the top left of what the percentage of MEOW's, the cap bit on the third bit?
Oh no, I didn't get to see it. What was it at? Don't tell me it's like 99.
Worse, 100%.
Oh no!
I have never seen that. Well, I have, but I haven't. You don't see it that often at all. 100%, 0.0% capped, and it was all for nothing, unfortunately, because of the incredible stalls by the entire team of Vanilla Latte. Hats off to you. As we're moving into Junkertown, they're still opting to keep the same tanks MEOW, which I think is the right play here, especially when you're going into that more double shield I was about to say meta, it's no longer meta, but as we well know, we're probably going to see Hansel back on the Widow, because there are a couple of subs coming in and out. Ataku is back in from Lime, which I think is the right play here. Junkertown is such an open map, there's no way a sim could get that much value. And so expect probably an Echo, or maybe even double Sky. No changes though from the other team of Vanilla Latte, unfortunately. But they are look. Tim, what would you play if you were Vanilla Latte here? Would you dive? Would you try and match the Brawl? That's if they do play Brawl, that is. How would you go about playing it, knowing how they're going so far?
Well, considering they have the Tim condition, I think they have to run Reinhardt. I think that's just the rule now, Tim being that win condition, which I am now absolutely coining the Tim condition. Reinhardt is how you're going to run. Looks like they're opting for that double sort of hit scan style of McCree Widow, which is fair enough. KE9 coming in playing that Widow. Got to respect that. And I mean, Junkertown is so good at first point for those sight lines for Widow, so we're gonna see that come through. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, that is the right call. There's gonna be both. Obviously, it's gonna be 2 Widows going head. Oh my gosh, Shiro. K9 is it? Sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there is a Widow 1v1 happening. Oh my gosh. Okay, Widow 1v1 happening. Interesting. The Hog from Tea Leaf. I mean, there's always that pull hook combo that you're looking for, hey? And then you've got K9 has swapped off to the Widow though, so I mean, right to go, oh my gosh, they've switched. Ataku though, the first Hanzo to get the pick of the game onto a big one too of Polo.
Absolutely, but Ataku is falling low. Tipsy has to go save them. And KE9 now going on this flank is going to make it really hard for the defensive team to play on this payload, as it looks like Vanilla Latte are trying to regroup a little bit here. With that win, they're going to have a lot of energy and potential just confidence to push in and be aggressive. Otaku falling low. Tipsy has to pop Valkyrie just to keep this fight alive, as it's already wrapping around the last corner of first point Junkertown. But Hanzo and Snuggles getting two really good picks, a good hook by T-Leaf onto Tim, and that fight is all over from some really good kills from Hanzo.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a fight right in the back of Hanzo versus the KE9. Unfortunately, just couldn't land a killing blow, and because of that, you know, allowed Hanzo to click heads and just rain in damage, because headshot damage is so brutal in the likes of Tim. Now that they're all back, though, for MEOW, this could be really dangerous. You've got Bongo coming out, and that is a dragon through the middle of them, and no one fell, though, which is really good for Vanilla Latte. They can push in quite hard here, although there is a Discord orb.
And there's a grab Dragons. Transcendence doesn't manage to keep Otaku up. Yeah, Otaku does manage to pull during that, unfortunately. Tipsy tries to get the res, gets taken down during it, and now it is just Snuggles and Hanzo left to fend for themselves. Hanzo gets a good pick onto Shiro, but then does fall to Tim as the point pushes through first point.
Can I just say, for a McCree, Shiro, you're doing an incredible job with high noons. Like, honestly, your high noons are actually, like, not just, you know, to provide space, because they often are in this kind of rank. You know, you're not really expected to get any kills, but each and every time you manage to do it at a really great time where it catches MEOW off guard, and now because of that, they've captured point A. They've got a cheeky Roadhog that unfortunately missed his hook. If you're MEOW, you're going to go back. K9 finally takes that Hanzo. Probably will be rezzed by Tipsy, though, who's already got another Valkyrie. But Shiro already just popping T-Leaf.
Absolutely, and with this, the fact that Shiro doesn't have high ground, but getting these kills is huge. Supercharger comes out from Saturn Bars, and that's going to make it real hard for Vanilla Latte to play aggressively. But Otaku throwing out that Dragon Strike, taking down two in the staircase. That's exactly what you want if you're on this defensive team right now. KE9 does take out Snuggles, but I think this fight is over.
It will also get rezzed. Yeah, no, it is over. Unfortunately, the win condition, aka Tim of Vanilla Latte, fell a little bit early there, especially because he had Shatter. Although, you still got K9 in the backline being an absolute nuisance, and already you can see the Immortality field has been used.
The whole hog on the staircase. You are not allowed to walk up these stairs today if you are Vanilla Latte. Nobody died from it though, but a good hook does pull Pish out of the staircase, doesn't get the kill. T-Leaf now in the background. Coalescence comes out by Apollo, and Pish does take down T-Leaf during that fight. Hainer jumping onto Hanzo, and yeah, you can just get aggressive when Coalescence is up because there's so much healing alive. Otaku, all that is left, takes out KE9 but falls to Hainer.
That was a really nice headshot. He did, you know, that dash thing that Anzo's doing in the air, and despite being under a fire from, all six of them, somehow did pick off K9. Doesn't really matter. He'll be back in the fight in absolutely no time. But yeah, Tim still hasn't been able to use Shatter. Hopefully we'll get the time to. The problem they've got now is this double barrier, and you've got to push through so much poke. You've got Hanzo now switching off to the Tracer, though, possibly trying to just get an... Oh, no! Otaku again! K9 falls. Do you retreat? Well, Mr. Tim does not. He is still on the payload, still swinging away. And
even with an amplification matrix, they're still wanting to get aggressive with that grab. And Tim gets a beautiful shatter, taking out three there. Tim... angry. Tim wants to win this, and you know what? You have to. You need to get the reverse sweep if you're after a win here, so you cannot lose this game.
Yeah, Tim really needs to pull through right now, and so far he has. I think that was like a 5k shatter there. Absolutely beautiful plays by the Tim man. You've got Hayden as well. He's still got that sound barrier, which they will need, especially against Otaku, who's been having really good luck with the dragons. This is where you want to push, so you've got the help.
Yeah. Sound Barrier comes out to give Tim all the health to fight Tea Leaf here. Dragons come out, unfortunately don't connect onto much, but K9 and Shiro are getting those kills. Tea Leaf pops the Shatter, doesn't really connect onto anything because of a good shield by Tim. And Tipsy and Tea Leaf just try to stall it out, but Tim's Shatters are a little bit bigger, a little bit better, and they manage to cap it with 2 minutes 19.
Tim, you did it.
Yeah.
The Tim condition is real, Apara. The Tim condition.
We love it.
Unfortunately, Hansel in the backline couldn't really get much value at all. Shiro just instantly said, no, thank you. I do not want you in my backline, and just popped Hansel's head. And because of that, it was a 5v6 before the fight even started.
Yeah.
So brilliant plays, of course, by K9 as well. And I mean, hats off to the supports as well. I think they've finally realized they've got to keep Tim alive.
Yeah.
At this point, it's another Ricky Maru situation, right? Put all your resources into this man and see what happens.
And I mean, it's worked out for them so far. They're playing a lot more concise and sort of playing together. I really like this new look of Vanilla Latte. Vanilla Latte, I guess, is now what I'm going to call it, because that's the focus, is Tim here tonight. Oh, I like this positioning. Are they going to... Oh, are they actually going to all play hidden around the edge here?
Oh, this is a bit cheeky.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it.
I love it too. It's very cheeky.
Yeah.
I was about to say, surely they have the May. This is basically Junkertown's stall in a nutshell. You just got the most, a lot of healing, as well as K9 with the wall, keeping everybody alive and well. And that's a beautiful wall.
And there it is. Yeah, huge wall blocks off Saturn bars right there. Hanzo on the high ground, though. That could be good, having the positioning from behind, but Shiro does take down Tipsy. Hanzo still trying to find any sort of value on this Widow pick here. Does manage to take down KE9. That's absolutely what you want. And Otaku's focusing, been through Hained. This up close and personal defense got them a couple of seconds, but it got called out quick, and the positioning from Widow and Echo is just really good. Hanzo takes out Shiro, a bit of a slam onto Tim, and that's all she wrote in that first defense.
Yeah, Tim Hiller Latte will have to come back and regroup, but because they held so aggressively there, they will definitely have one, maybe even two fights if they can aggress fast enough there. I just got to say, Hansel already 88% for sights. Make that.
And there it is.
Pop it immediately. It's popping K9's head was insane there. You can see the aggression. Unfortunately, no one's really Hansel. Oh, that's
Hansel! Stop!
Will there be another? That's Hayden.
Hansel, they're already down and out. Please stop bullying them. Takes out Tim as well. Tipsy does get the kill credit, but Hansel is doing so much damage. Setinsbar now finishing off KE9. Oh my gosh, pure savagery from Hansel there. And Hansel's still going in, looking for more kills.
Yeah, MEOW doing an incredible job here, keeping up the aggression, keeping up the pure pace. Tamila Latte, they will be coming back onto him, going pretty aggressive with the coalescence.
Yeah, minefield on point from Tea Leaf takes out Apollo, and that's going to give them just room to push this point with no one really getting on, and Tea Leaf getting the kills. 4 kills from a minefield! Can it get a 5th with just May left on point? Oh my gosh, what a brilliant mine.
Brilliant minds. That's the kind of minds we want. Come on, Tim. We want to see those kind of minds. I'm just... Oh, gosh. Yeah, that was beautiful mind placement there from Tea Leaves. They're already trying to back off the cart. Don't want to, obviously don't want to let it go. But unfortunately, everyone just sort of fell into them. Tim just couldn't get that shield up to take the mines away for his team. But they do have a really good position, and that is the high ground that they can take away. But they still have a very annoying Hansel to deal with.
Absolutely right. Now we see Tim already jumping in, pops the shatter down onto Saturn's bar. Doesn't get the kill, but Shiro gets a good ditto into Tea Leaf. Tim charges in, but Saturn's bar does finish off Tim here, and Shiro getting the kills for Vanilla Latte right now. 3 kills to Shiro's name right now. Shiro just absolute monster at the moment. Saturn's bar is walled off by this beautiful Mabel, out by KE9 and falls. And yeah, no, Shiro won them that fight for sure.
Shiro won them that fight for Tamila Latte there. And now they're coming back. Hansel unfortunately does have sights, and there was their previous win condition gone. That's
Yeah, Hansel just getting a beautiful headshot onto Shiro. I love to see it. Hansel unfortunately didn't get a good repel, whatever you call them. I don't know what that hook shot thing is called. It's fine, it's whatever. Blizzard comes out from KE9 and Hansel does manage to get the kill. Otaku getting a good focusing beam. Haynard trying to keep his team alive right here, but T-Leaf is getting really, really aggressive right now. I mean, T-Leaf is just monster on this Wrecking Ball right now, trying to find the kill onto Shiro. We do see Apollo come back to keep Shiro up, and Shiro's getting the kills. Don't know why the grab came out. Okay.
That's because it was an echo anyway, so it was maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yep, no, fair enough.
Saturn still definitely has their ultimate. Maybe it's Shirilla last. Oh my god!
Amplification Matrix headshot from the Widow! K9 on the Doomfist though. Gets taken down by Otaku. These fights are so back and forth and so quick. Coalescence comes out just to burn through Tim. Tipsy recognized the Tim condition and takes him out. We do see Pish trying to take Apollo out in the backlines, but Snuggles manages to finish that off, and I think this point is probably going to roll through. We might see KE9 get a last minute touch. Yep, Haynard brings actually a lot of the team through. Sound barrier comes through, and Shiro getting the kill onto Snuggles. High Noon takes out 2, Saturn Spars, and Otaku. Shiro really bringing the pain right now, and I mean, that's what you want if you're Vanilla Latte.
Right now, no, don't you mean Tamila Latte, excuse me? Anyway.
Oh, Tamila Latte, you're right, I'm sorry.
Shiro right now on this defense has like single-handedly probably carried like 3 fights. Obviously, you know, the rest of the team is helping out, but right now these shots from Shiro coming down. Hansel has actually swapped off the Widow onto the Hanzo, trying to just probably get a little bit more picks, a little bit more damage, especially onto someone like Tim, who's got 600 health and a dream right now. And you got Pish. Look out for Pish. Pish has the grab and will probably use it alongside Apollo's Coalescence, which will be popped right now.
And there it is. Yeah, the grab comes out. Immortality, of course, to try and keep the team alive. KE9 does take out down Tipsy, and now here goes Saturn's Bar burning through Apollo here. No more supports for the likes of Vanilla Latte, Tamila Latte. We do see a seismic slam come through by KE9. Unfortunately, doesn't really get much, as we do see the duplicated Deadeye to take it out, and we roll through second point with only 18 seconds left.
Yeah, if you were Tamila Latte, you'd be really happy with how it's going so far. You know, you've got 40 seconds. That's real. That by the time the card even gets round to the finish, it's probably going to be overtime. So unless you're really hoping for Otaku to come out and get a lot of kills here, Hansel is actually opted, instead of the long range, a little bit more short range and personal. Just notice how much Hero's getting done.
Amplification Matrix comes out by Snuggles, and Tim just hiding behind the payload, not taking the damage that you want from it. Otaku, though, does take down KE9, and Snuggles finally gets through to Tim. Charge onto Pish means that Pish is out of this fight, and the payload's gonna start wrapping around the first corner.
Yeah, with only a minute remaining as well, it's got to get through quite a lot of meters here. Shiro has got that Deadeye, like I said earlier, is able to pop it and get at least a couple of kills, if not just create space for him just to press that W button. Apollo close to Coalescence, look out for that man, keeping everybody alive, of course. Statins, though, has that grab.
Yeah, huge rotation means that they are now behind. We see Vanilla Latte is the attacking team. Tim gets a really good fire strike, but unfortunately T-Leaf gets a really nice shatter. You won't want that if you're Tamila Latte right now, as they are going to continue rolling through with 20 seconds left.
This is it. I reckon it will definitely finish in overtime, even if, there's a little bit of a touch from the likes of Tim. Tim does have shatter. Keep an eye on the Tim condition here.
Yeah, it could happen. Coalescence comes out, and we have a duplicate, but there's the shatter! It's huge! It takes down T-Leaf! Immortality is out, and a sound barrier from Otaku with the duplicate right there. Hansel does get a good Deadeye onto Haynard, and there's no KE9 as well. Tipsy just trying to stall it out, but Tim is swinging that hammer and takes out Saturn's Bar. The supports are desperate right now. Hansel trying to kill Tim. We see Haynard has returned, and T-Leaf on this Wrecking Ball. They want this win so desperately. They don't want to go to a 5th map. KE9 now just stalling it out, and there is an overtime cap.
The Tim condition almost worked. They did.
Yeah.
There. The rest of Tamila Latte just couldn't quite get enough. Weren't quite enough players to really take advantage of that. Also, the immortality field was absolutely beautiful by Huggles, keeping the rest of their team alive. Of course, it was absolutely remarkable players from both sides we're seeing right now, and MEOW looking really strong. They just finished though, as Tamila Latte, they're actually finding their footing now. Apara, it has taken a couple of maps, but it's looking like a really exciting 5-setter. If the Tim condition can come back alive.
No, absolutely right. Yeah, we could be seeing a map 5 here tonight, and that will be so exciting. Potentially even a reverse sweep. You never know. Really happy for Tamila Latte right now. But MEOW, they're putting up a fight. MEOW is not out of this right now. They may only have a minute on that time bank, but I've seen payloads push all the way through 3 points. So you never know. 1 minute could be everything, but they're opting for this close defense right now.
Yeah, I mean, if at first you don't succeed, why not try again? I guess. At first you've got to watch out for though is Hansel, even though it's so close range, they're still able to make it work. But here comes the rest of the team.
Like you said. Oh, but maybe Tamila Latte could make it happen. Hansel only gets 1 pick, but Tamila Latte gets 2. T-Leaf getting aggressive onto the payload, and we see Otaku on the roof as Echo. T-Leaf has been taken out though, but there's no more Lucio, so it's just Moira heals right now, and the Venom Mine takes out Apollo. You don't see a Venom Mine kill very often, but it does happen. Snuggles takes out Shiro, and Hansel really making sure this fight is not over. MEOW want to push as far as possible, but now only 20 seconds, and it's only just left the spawn.
I love that from Tamila Latte. They held it so close. K9 going on to the Soldier 76 instead. I mean, that is a win condition in and of itself, really, if you can get enough value. The problem you've got to watch out for now is Hansel and the crack shots that they're landing right now. Here comes the ball. That's everybody up in the air.
Ooh, Otaku gets a really good kill in the back, focusing being down KE9. Hansel takes out Pish here as well. Tim may be fighting on the payload and gets the shatter, but oh no, Apollo can follow up on this, so there may be a chance that the payload stops here. It's just Echo and Hansel here, but Hansel's been putting in the work, trying to find the kill onto Tim. Apollo just throwing out so much healing onto Tim here. Duplication comes through by Otaku onto the Moira, but gets ended just as quickly as it starts. Pish now on the Wrecking Ball managed to get to point really quickly. T-Leaf also in the Wrecking Ball manages to take down Tim with a bit of a pile driver, but T-Leaf's minefields, we know they're strong, we know they're good. Unfortunately, Haynard does find the spot to just stall it out, so the point cannot continue progressing, and it looks like, Tipsy has to pop that Coalescence. She's trying to keep this fight going as much as possible, and it is. The payload's continuing to move on. Shiro does take down Hansel on that Doomfist now, and the payload is continuing to progress. Apollo throws out the Coalescence. They want this fight over and done with here. Tim takes out Otaku. Tim takes out Saturn's Bar. Now looking for a little bit of T-Leaf. Gets the charge onto T-Leaf, and that is where the payload stops.
The Tim condition came through. We got a hey, ladies and gentlemen. It really did not move that much, really. It could have moved a lot more if it wasn't for, the close range hole that they did last time. Then, of course, they were able to stop it just after it got across the bridge. Still very winnable for MEOW. but they do definitely have a much more uphill battle going ahead of them. But if Hansel is anything to go by, and just MEOW in general, they're playing very well together. They can get back into the flow that they had the previous maps. I don't see how it can't go their way. But right now, all of the mental game, I reckon, is in Tamila Latte's court.
Absolutely right. You've got to be feeling good right now if you're Tamila Latte. You've got an easy win conditions. You got 3 minute 19 to take it, and you got Tim. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, they have lots of win conditions, Tim.
This is such a wreck. Now it does look like MEOW is also opting for that close range defense here, and we could see MEOW make it work a little bit better. I mean, if KE9 opts to actually run the Sombra pick, which I think they are, yeah, KE9 opting to run the Sombra pick. Tim knew they were in this room, and Tim responded instantly, taking out Otaku. They're still fighting in the room. Immortality gets pushed away. KE9 takes out Tipsy. Hayner gets the boop onto Saturn's bars here. T-Leaf gets taken down by Pish, and there goes Hansel. This payload is gonna roll through. There might be a chance of touch, but I mean, oh my gosh. Tamila Latte are actually gonna...
Also, a big thing as well is that the point actually moved during that fight, unlike with MEOW a little while. T-Leaf is back on that wrecking ball. I mean, he has to be to try and just stall that point as much as possible, taking so much damage here. It's actually ults coming out, like Pish. Pish is actually really close to a grab, which is Tim Shatter.
And Tim Shatter! The Shatter and the grab, 2 and 1. Oh my gosh. Hansel, what are you gonna do? You're getting coalesced in the sky. We're going to a map 5, ladies and gentlemen.
Gosh.
Oh
my gosh. Tamila Latte. What's going on?
They've got the confidence now. They managed to do really good stall. They found their footing, and now they're really able to take this all the way. We could see a reverse sweep here tonight.
We really could. Tamila Latte have won the previous 2. Reverse sweep is actually there. Oh. God. So exciting to watch and experience all of that. Well, obviously, I didn't expect this tonight, but the last will be Ilios. I think if you're Vanilla Latte, you've got to keep Tim on. Okay, if anyone's watching, if any of the players from Tamila Latte are watching, what do you guys think so far? Isn't it just amazing? You got a name change, you got the Tim condition. It's just fantastic. MEOW though, all they've got to do is their previous 2 maps, they were looking really, really strong. I think they've kind of lost their way a little bit now. In their head right now is the rest of is the whole Tamila Latte. You got Shiro popping off. You've got, who can forget Hayden? Lucio. You don't really notice Lucios unless either they're really bad or they're exceptionally good. If they're great Lucios, it's awesome. They're staying with the team, etc., etc., etc. But Hayden, of course, the Temple of Anubis, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
What?
That sound barrier into, 3 kills on Lucio, just absolute insanity. And they're really showing us that, when it looks like they're down and out, they can keep this going, and that's what they're going to do. Moving into Ilios, and you mentioned Lucio. Ilios is Lucio heaven. You've got you've got Lighthouse. There's so many opportunities for boops there, and Lucio complete carries. So we could see Hayden, Haynard, whatever you want to call them, really come through here. You never know.
You never know. I'm so excited about this next map.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. Kim is back. There are a couple of changes. I'm glad they haven't switched Tim because, the people watching, the spectators must be like, okay, man, we gotta keep Tim in. Tim is the glue that holds this story together. And if anything was going to happen to Tim, there would be riots in the streets, there'd be riots in the chat. It would be pandemonium. It'd be the next Mad Max. It'd be Mad Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. We're going insane here, everyone. Okay, well, we're on Ilio starting on Lighthouse. I mean, what more can we say apart from probably a pretty typical Reinhardt Tim? Yeah, Rein Zarya. What do you think of the comps, Pep?
Sorry, hydration break.
No, you're fine. Yeah, go for it.
What did I think of the comps? Hansel, I mean, look, it's always up to debate. There's still 20 seconds remaining, but there's still the double sky. And I think that's really smart from MEOW, honestly. Like, it worked so well on Mbani. I think it can really work in their favor. The only thing that could really upset them would probably be what they might be doing if you're KE9. That's just to get to points. If you can get to point and just stay there, it forces the likes of Tea Leaf and Lawless Kai to come to you. Another way you can approach this, if you were Tamila Latte, would be to just speed into MEOW. You just want to speed directly into them, ignore the sky, and just attack Tipsy, Lawless Kai, and Tea Leaf, or the Ryan, the Ana, and the Zarya of MEOW, because that's basically a 3v6 if you can attack fast enough. That would be, and what they're doing so far is correct. They've got K9 with the of course, the teleport out of spawn, and they'll probably speed boost as well. So you want to meet them as fast as possible. Don't give Hansel time to get value, and if he does start getting value, make sure you've got 4 picks in your back pocket.
Oh, yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, no, it's important to be looking out for Hansel in the sky. So Shiro's got their work cut out for them right now. Probably trying to pick off Kim first on that Mercy pick, of course. But yeah, no, I think you're right. If K9 can get the team onto point nice and quickly, it's going to be really hard for Hansel to get a lot of value, because the doorways are really sort of hard to shoot through if you are Pharah already. So if they are set up on point, it's going to be a hard push for MEOW here. And I think Symmetra could be the decision maker here. It's kind of interesting that MEOW didn't opt to run Lime, to be honest.
Yeah, that is a good point, actually. Why wouldn't you run Lime? Because Lime is... oh, no. There's a couple of breaks that people want in the chat, so God bless the casters. Anyway, oh, no, hang on. We're
good to go. Yeah, okay.
There we are. We're free. But I do agree. Why not Lime? Just really fast setup. Just be an absolute nuisance with like a Reaper or something like that. Anyway, for what they've got, okay, Hansel has actually switched. No more Pharah. Instead, it wants a little bit more of that Reaper action, trying to get up close and personal. But Shiro right now, only having to deal with one person in the sky, Shiro's aim right now is quite cracked. We haven't really seen much of Reaper, but with that one flash could end the team. But we can see quite a fast engagement from both sides here.
Really good teleporter straight onto point there, just across the void, straight onto point, setting up those turrets. It's going to be hard entryway for Tea Leaf here, as Tea Leaf is trying to find a way to get in, but those turrets are just bringing them down. However, Hansel, though, got in close and personal, took out Shiro. Tim does find the kill onto Hansel, and then Tea Leaf. The Tim condition is real right now. Echo and Mercy just trying to do any sort of poke damage, but no, that fight is won by Tim.
That fight, well, I mean, yes, we could always argue, but it was the team. No, Tim.
There may have been Symmetra turrets, there may have been other damage, but
there may have been, healing to actually keep the man alive. Oh gosh, this Echo is going to be an absolute nuisance though for Latte. So here comes an Echo already though.
Coalescence has come out early by Apollo, and the shatter onto Tim, a little bit painful, and Haynard looks like they got Otaku off the map there. Pish getting a good kill onto Tea Leaf, and Tamila Latte still holding strong on this defense.
I really like Tim's aggression here. He's already shattered once. He's 80% to his next one. You need that Tim condition right now. These guys on Tamila Latte are popping off. I think they're just They are so hype at the moment. I am too, but MEOW, with a couple of ults, Hansel's only just really switched to the far, but already got a barrage, just raining rockets from above. It's going to be really hard. T-Leaf on that Winston, try their best.
There's the nano. The nano onto Hansel with the rocket barrage, but there's a photon barrier in your face! Oh my gosh, KE9, I don't know if that was intentional, but it was really well timed. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Just fall back, Otaku, at that point.
I know, just switch off. At that point, that was just... What a coinky-dink. Now it's 90%. Tim has his third shatter for the game, and it's last fight territory here. There's the grab. I don't think it really captures anybody except the unluckiness of T-Leaf immediately.
T-Leaf just getting burned by turrets, shatter into Lawless Kai's face. Those turrets did so much damage to everyone who got on point. Otaku tried to fly on, but couldn't. Kim taken down by turrets. KE9's turret positioning was absolutely devastating.
Oh, the Tim condition, man. Anything else to say?
I don't think I can believe what I'm seeing right now, Pat.
I can't either. This is the most beautiful game of Overwatch I've ever watched in my entire life.
Oh my gosh. Moving into ruins.
Who knew MEOW and Tamila Latte would be the most entertaining match of the night, right? It wasn't 3-0. It wasn't anything like that. No, we've changed everyone's names. We've changed like conditions. We've changed ultimates. It's just been such a fun match to be with you guys, to be able to cast it with everybody. And right now we are on Ruins and KE9 onto the Reaper instead of the Stim. Of course, Otaku sticking with the Echo. Interestingly, Hansel is on the Junkrat, so we're seeing a little bit of more hero depth from him.
Yeah, wanting a lot of damage coming out to maybe break Tim's shield. This could be a potential call to just focus Tim down, but KE9 on this Reaper is gonna be able to get up close and personal, so that's gonna be scary for the likes of a Junkrat and for T-Leaf. Early cap for Tamila Latte. T-Leaf charging into Pish, sorry. Otaku takes down KE9 and Pish is taken down by T-Leaf. Hansel gets a kill onto Tim, and this point is probably gonna flip onto the side of MEOW just as quickly as Tamila Latte got the flip themselves.
Yeah, I'm surprised Mora just didn't Paula just didn't go on point and die there, but came out with the lessons there. Just maybe got a few more percentages. That's alright. MEOW, very well played from you, of course. Hansel already have the tire, so look out for that. That could be absolutely enormous, especially when you don't have someone like Hayden or with the sound barrier to project it. But here comes the coalescence.
And there's the rip tire just onto Shiro. Yeah, and Otaku now getting some kills, but I mean, Tim right up in your face, swinging onto Kim, swinging onto Lawless Kai. Now it's just Hansel left on point. Otaku just probably going to fly back to spawn.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else you can do there. The Tim condition got into your back line and started just pounding away at the supports, and also, of course, the Lawless Kai. Now they've got the point back, and it's even Stevens percentages wise, and Tim has his shatter. Here's the Tim condition.
Oh, T-Leaf though pops the shatter, but Tim responds with a bigger shatter. Then Otaku responds with an even bigger shatter, taking down Tim. T-Leaf getting the fire strike onto KE9. Good duplicate from Otaku. Otaku does not want to lose this series right here. Otaku's putting in their all to make sure they can win this fight. Hansel finishing off Pish, and now just Lucio to stall for time bank as it flips over at 55%.
Flips over again. There are ultimates though for Tamila Latte to come back into this. They do have to be careful of Lawless Kai, who's got the grab and could just make hen's meat? No, that's not right. Anyway, that could just mince meat. There we go. Tamila Latte is not really careful, but Shiro has the high noon as well as Fish coming out with the grab.
Yeah, Grab and Coalescence with the high noon as well. Grab responded by Lawless Kai, but everyone died, so they were just happily sitting in the grab, capping point.
Yeah, unfortunately, look, the team condition fell quite early there, but fortunately enough, Miller Latte were able to still have the soul of Tim to carry them through and beautifully still kept that going. K9 also has the, oh, never mind.
Wow, Otaku, 2 huge early picks. Oh no, Hansel takes out Shiro. T-Leaf pushing up aggressively onto Tim here. Otaku takes out Hayden. And there goes Tim. Apollo probably just gonna try and run away from Otaku here too. Flips back and forth, Pat.
It flips back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. But here, unfortunately for Tamila Latte, MEOW now hold quite an ultimate advantage over you. You've got the Echo, you've got T-Leaf with a massive shadow. You can see how close they can hold here.
Duplicate comes out from KE9. T-Leaf does pop the shatter, but nanoed whilst charged, so you don't take as much damage as you might originally. Coalition's trying to keep Tim up, but Lawless Kai gets so aggressive and takes them down. Pish now gets stunned, and T-Leaf just walks all over Pish here, but T-Leaf taking so much damage, has to fall back to the supports, and a lot of healing coming through from Tipsy, keeping T-Leaf up here. 99%. It is to a final map, Pat. We're going to well.
It is going all the way.
Wow, this is just insane.
It's going all the way. Pirate's going all the way.
It's going all the way.
Be a MEOW versus Tamila Latte if it didn't go all the way. This is this is Overwatch. I don't know if anyone's seen that. This is Rocket League. Well, this is Overwatch right now, and oh my gosh, it's been this match has been so back and forth and so enjoyable. Unfortunately, there for Tamila Latte, MEOW, you had the ultimates to win that, and you used them so effectively to completely shut down Tamila Latte's last attempt of a push there, especially how aggressive you're holding. I think that was really well played there. Hansel, though, well, interesting, gone onto the Widow, trying to get like some cheeky picks. K9, you know, of course, bringing the tall turret with him. Expect some Swedish meatball action.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lawless Kai on this Orisa means you can kind of set up in a corner and just set up a wee sort of structure for yourself that the team has to push to, and that's where Hansel gets the value. Hansel taking out a Polo because you have to wrap all the way around just to meet where Orisa is set up. However, Shiro does take out Hansel and then Tipsy. The point is about to flip to MEOW's side, and there it is. They are going to get point progress during this fight, even if it's not a complete win, and the rotation from Lawless Kai means that Tamila Latte has to rotate around once again. Lawless Kai gets booped into the well. That's what I wanted to see from Hayden there. And now Otaku, Hansel, Tipsy all back into the fight, but Tipsy falls just as quick, and the flip goes back to Tamila Latte.
I like that. You might have to give up a bit of point percentage, but if you can win the fight and get those stalls and get the picks last second, it's definitely worth it. And now you've got Tim with the Tim condition. Although there's the Echo, interestingly gone to Zarya.
Yeah, duplication onto Zarya, but Otaku not really getting around the corner to find the damage, and T-Leaf falls because of it. Pish getting a lot of damage onto T-Leaf, and unfortunately the duplication doesn't even get an ultimate off, doesn't come through with too much. Turret gets taken down early, but the sticky bombs from Otaku is what you want. Tim, a beautiful shadow though, that's what you want to see. Taking down 3, you are not allowed to touch this point right now, MEOW.
Yeah, you're not, but they are coming back with Tipsy's almost got coalescence, but unfortunately there's not many ults if you're MEOW here, and you've almost got to eco push this one, hope to force out, you know, KE9 and Shiro, the DPS ultimates that can just stop you in your tracks.
Yeah, there's a grab to stop you in your tracks right there, and a molten core. You're just gonna get burnt alive. You can't run away. You have to accept your fate. Otaku just falls as well. Oh my gosh, this is just clockwork right now.
This is just clockwork. They're using their ultimates exceptionally well if you're Tamila Latte. They are coming back though. MEOW is coming back with quite a number of ults on their side now. They were able to eco push this. Otaku has gone onto the Reaper, maybe to try and get a couple more picks. But you've got Tipsy, you've got the coalescence to push in. You've just got to get past the Tim condition.
Yeah, and this is last fight territory here as we see Tea Leaf walking up so aggressively. Apollo pops out the coalescence and the High Noon takes out 2. I think that might be all she wrote. Shiro takes down Hanzo, a big shatter, but unfortunately Shiro is taking everyone's name tonight. Are you on Shiro's list? Because if you are, you're falling to their Peacekeeper. The hammer kill by KE9, and that is going to be a reverse sweep by Vanilla Latte. Oh my gosh, they actually came through when it looked like it was all MEOW. Vanilla Latte, or Tamila Latte as we've now coined them, managed to take it 3-2.
My gosh, the reverse sweep. This was the High Noon. Shiro consistently popping off. Look at those shots. I mean, after you play, 5 maps, you'd hope that something would go right, and go right they did. The team condition came through. Tamila Latte taking that 3-2 after not looking that great in the end. At the start, sorry. But then MEOW unfortunately dropped the ball a little bit. Tim picked it right back up and started just swinging away. Rest of his team kept him alive. Obviously, beautiful supports as well, keeping Tim just able to press the W button. And I mean, how could we forget Hayden? What a Lucio player. He really showed up tonight at getting those boots into the well. Of course, stalling out points in Temple of Anubis, speed boosting, healing. It's been wonderful. Apollo, of course, able to keep coalescence so fast as well. Pish, sorry we haven't talked much about you, but there's nothing.
Pish
you haven't
had great
wrong.
grabs.
You were just great. You kept Tim going with your bubbles, and that was just fantastic. Tim, congratulations for being MVP. It goes without saying. I mean, come on.
You called it first game. You called it first game. You said Tim is just what I'm focusing on.
Oh my gosh, I did. I called it first game.
Oh my gosh.
Dying first game from Tim. If you're Tamila Latte, please watch this back. You will hear the casters go bananas around Tim. MEOW, you showed up tonight. You gave us an incredible series of matches there. Apara, any last words before we do a little bit of a wrap up?
Yeah, no, just huge plays on both teams. MEOW really brought a lot of pressure, and they kept Tamila Latte on their toes. Like every time it was really, really close series. Every match was really close, but the reverse sweep did come through. Big thank you to both teams for playing, and I guess typical reminders. Don't forget our Patreon if you want to give us further support. We've got those 3 tiers that you can sign up for and just give us a bit more support so we can keep advancing our show essentially here. Thank you to everyone who has already joined the Patreon. I don't know. Anything else you want to say?
Let's do the Patreon supporters, the mighty people that keep this thing going. We've got Galileo, Random Thing, Kerberos, Raiden, and Lamington. Thank you so much. I'm going to need to rest my voice for a couple of days after this one. It has been an absolute blast casting with you, Apara. That was so much fun. Hope to see you guys again. Thank you, Abby, so much for sticking around, giving you guys all the camera angles you'll ever need. It's a fantastic match. Hope you all enjoyed so much. Remember to stay hydrated, have fun, and we'll see you in the next one.